My name is Bella. You're listening to SKO Radio Network. You have really great talk shows and rock and roll.
The views and opinions expressed on the SKO Radio Network are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The shows found on the SKO Radio Network can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition. This SKO Radio Network program is rated Unleashed and is intended for mature audiences only.
Whenever I get gloomy with the state of the world, I think about the arrivals gate at Heathrow Airport. General opinion's starting to make out that we live in a world of hatred and greed. But I don't see that. Seems to me that love is everywhere. Often it's not particularly dignified or newsworthy, but it's always there. Fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, husbands and wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, old friends. When the planes hit the Twin Towers, as far as I know, none of the phone calls from the people on board were messages of hate or revenge. They were all messages of love. If you look for it, I've got a sneaky feeling you'll find that love actually is all around.
From the Debbie McCune Broadcasting Center at the SKO Radio Network, it's time for Some Kind of Radio Show, starring Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew. The phone lines are now open, so call or text to 234-200-5110. That number once again is 234-200-5110. Without any further ado, here's Earl and the Crazy Crew. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Some Kind of Radio Show. I am not Earl McCune.
Neither am I.
I actually, when I shit, it does not stink. I do not clear rooms. I have been told by many people, i.e. the people that I live with. This is your guest host tonight, Aaron the Voice Kaback. Directly in front of me is Tony the Comedy Killer. Say hello, Tony.
Hello, Tony.
Hello, Tony. We are saluting Love Actually. Why? Because Earl gave me the chance to pick what we were saluting. That's the first thing that came to mind. Great movie. One of my favorites. Not my all-time favorite. I'm kind of stockpiling those, but definitely one of those that, hey, I've got a couple hours to kill and I just need to feel good about myself. And British romantic comedy is going to do it for me. Hugh Grant, Martin Freeman, Bill Nighy, even Mr. Bean. Rowan Atkinson gets involved. Good movie all around. Lots of fun. Lots of, do they get away with that in Britain? And why can't we do that here? You can't go wrong with it. No, you can't go wrong with it. It's one of those. I mean, if you're into the whole blow them up and gratuitous sex, you're probably not going to be in for it. But if you're in for a fun story, and the fun thing is, it's not one story. Yeah, there's like 7 different stories that do actually intertwine. So it's kind of like a D&D game with romance. Okay. So enjoy. We got several clips for you tonight. That one was actually the opening clip that kind of described how the movie is going to go. The ever faithful Hugh Grant delivering the opening lines there. We are going to be joined tonight by Father John Sinsel. John, how you doing tonight? Would help if I unmuted the phone. Hello, John.
Yes, hello. How are you?
There he is. Hello. How you doing tonight?
Doing all right. What's going on up there?
Oh, not a whole lot. The warden let the inmates run the asylum tonight, so Tony and I are going to wreak havoc. Are you
Oh boy.
are you going to keep us in line there, Father John?
Father John can keep you guys in line only so far. I'm not there to solve you for your sins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first of all, there's not enough sacramental wine, nor are there enough rosary beads to absolve us of all of our sins. Believe me, between Tony and I combined, we have sinned.
Yes, we have.
We were talking.
Four versions too.
I'm sorry.
4 versions too.
Yeah.
Yes, we have sinned. Well, yeah. Shrek knocked up a 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
We were talking about marquee signs before, and the one that always gets me is when you play the movie Shrek, the movie Knocked Up, the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin, all in the same movie theater. You don't want to put that on the sign because Shrek knocked up a 40-year-old virgin. And I look over at Tony because he has dressed up as Shrek once a many time, and there are plenty of 40-year-old virgins who are now calling him daddy. So, we move on here, and like I said, we're saluting Love Actually. Good movie. If you don't have it, it's available on YouTube. I believe it's also streaming on Netflix. Get a chance to watch it if you can. There's a couple of things that we were discussing. I know that one thing that I want to jump out here and mention, and I was contemplating waiting. Mike Haigh is going to be joining us earlier. He's going to be
Later.
Excuse me. Water break. Mike Haigh is going to be joining us a little bit later. He is a little bit held up at work. And when I say held up, I do not mean at gunpoint. Routes ran a little bit longer than normal, but he will be joining us later. But I do want to take this opportunity to plug a couple of things. First and foremost, let's talk about the stunt again. I love talking about the stunt. Oh, man, I cannot talk about the stunt enough. And we still call it the stunt.
Mm-hmm. 72 hours of...
72 hours of Earl, Mike, Dylan, and myself, nonstop. I've been getting a lot. Actually, somebody had mentioned to me, if you listen to the promo that we run, and we run it every quarter hour.
Yep.
Because we want people to donate. We want people to get involved with this. But the stunt itself is 72 hours in a row. And someone mentioned, were you contemplating doing 72 hours not in a row? and I actually got that from an old man. I keep spacing on the comedian's name, but it's the guy from Boston with the really curly hair, the very subdued voice, and he sounds like he's on way too many Quaaludes. Steve something or other. I'm gonna Google it here in a second. Because
Not Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright, thank you.
Yeah, Mr. I lost a buttonhole.
They had lost a buttonhole. He said that he went to the 7-Eleven and he saw them closing the doors. And he said, wait a second, the sign says you're open 24 hours. And the guy said, yeah, but not in a row. That's where I got that from. We're going to be on the air 72 hours in a row.
Yes.
That had to be prefaced. So, because you never know who's going to say, hey, wait a second, we could take a break now. A couple of things we're doing here. One, we're going to attempt to break a world record. The current world record for a talk show team on a radio show is 66 hours. We're going to do that in 72. Second thing we're doing is we're raising money for a charity called Kids Crushing Cancer. That's a charity that focuses on helping out families with kids that are facing cancer. As I mentioned in the ad, there's two things that we really try to exemplify as far as our community service here. That's things that helped out children and things that get rid of cancer. And here's one where we found that they do both. It's kind of near and dear to our hearts because it is a charity that one of our own hosts, Zach Meyer, is very heavily involved in. Hopefully we will get him here on the show within the next few weeks to talk more about exactly what the charity does and what he hopes to do with the money that we're going to raise for him. If you would like to donate, there's two ways to do it. If you're just a regular plain old person like me and Tony, God have mercy on your soul, because let's face it, there's nobody like me and Tony.
No.
But if you are like a regular plain old person, go to the SKO Radio website at skoradio.com. On the front page, there's going to be a link up in the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah, your other left.
I'm looking at my hand to figure out which one it is. The upper right-hand corner. It's going to simply say The Stunt. Click on that link and scroll to the bottom where you can donate to our PayPal account. All of the money that you donate, every single nickel, goes to Kids Crushing Cancer. If you are a small business owner, please give us a call at the office. Good God, I usually have the office.
234. Or no,
No, that's the studio line.
that's the studio line. Yeah, we don't have the office number posted.
No, we don't have the office number here
Yeah.
in the studio. But you can also, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm going to get a text from Earl any second now. But you can also email office@skoradio.com. Again, that's office@skoradio.com. We do have business opportunities for businesses to pledge on an hourly basis, like 25 cents an hour, 50 cents, $1, whatever. Each step gets you more and more goodies as a business. You know, we'll mention you as a shout out in the air every hour. We're on the air. Another step will get you a free ad. Another step will get you free mention live during the course of the month that we follow.
If I've got the office number in front of me.
Hit me with that office number, Tony.
234-706-5857.
And you know, and here's the fun part. Earl is on the phone right now to tell me how badly I'm screwing this up. Go on, Earl. Give us that number.
234-706-5857. I'll get you right through to the office.
There you go, Earl. Thank you very much. So again,
I do what I can.
and not 5 seconds after Comedy Killer here was managed to get that for me. So again, you can call the office. You can email the office. Again, you come on, give us a call. We would love to talk to you about the opportunities to get an ad on the air, to get an ad on the website, to get a mention. All this will help kids crushing cancer. So that is the stunt. And that is what we're going to try to do. It's going to be Labor Day weekend. We're going to start off Friday, August 30th at 8 p.m. We're going to try to slime our ways out of here Monday at 8 p.m. the following Monday, September 2nd. We will probably be carried out in stretchers by our significant others because there's no way we're walking out under our own power. Besides, we will also probably stink really bad. It's 4 guys in a studio together. Go ahead, do the math.
Yeah. Bring you some Axe.
I have a bottle of Axe. I don't have it in the can. I just have a bottle. I just pour it on myself and rub it in.
Butt loving.
I'm sorry, what's that, Earl?
It's going to smell like funky butt loving in there.
Funky Butt Loving. Actually, that's going to be my new radio name. I'm no longer Aaron the Voice. I want to go by Funky Butt Loving. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. I think Dylan already took that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't.
And you can't do McLovin. That was already super bad.
Yeah, McLovin. I can't do the shakes anymore. Well, I did the shakes, but nobody wanted to see it.
No.
Too much.
Actually, I thought Dylan's nickname was Butt McStuffin.
Butt McStuffin.
Butt McStuffins.
That's what it was.
That's more fitting.
Oh my God! You know, I'm picturing the little cartoon character of Doc McStuffins calling herself Butt McStuffins and just doing a whole porn cartoon to follow it. You know, it would take our president to be able to call in on the air and still make this a pornographic show. Thank you very much, Earl. We appreciate it.
I do what I can and don't like twice. Okay, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Hey, and we're grateful for it. Now I have to really behave because Mike is now watching on the Facebook Live. If you would like to watch on the Facebook Live as well, please, facebook.com backslash. I say backslash like 50 times a week during the week. Facebook.com/SKO Radio Show. You can link to the Facebook Live and look at my ugly face and the back of Tony's head.
The back.
And now he's going to turn around and wave and give you the back of his head again. Another thing that we're announced that we got going on here. Mike mentioned last Saturday, and this was funny because he actually came in while John and I were doing the sports program, Cinder Block Sports, and we did this whole nice video montage. He had me say some stuff, he had John say some stuff, and then he lost the video because, let's face it, Mike does not know how to use an iPhone properly. That's okay. We love him anyways. But as Mike had mentioned last week, there are 2 gentlemen who will be joining him on the Crazy Crew when he takes over Scores in August. And that is going to be myself and John O'Donnell. So basically, we're going to be here Friday nights, and then we're going to turn around Saturday morning and do the sports show, talk about being caffeinated.
Yes.
So we are looking forward to that. We've already started pre-production on a few shows. It is going to be something special. We're gonna have food.
Now, Aaron, real quick, without giving too much away.
Yep.
there will be a new Saturday night show coming in September.
Yes, Earl, you and I have a little bit of planning we need to do around that because we also have some Friday night football that we're going to be doing when high school football starts. And when that starts,
we may be doing some merging of two shows during that for a little bit.
Ooh. So the new unannounced surprise, we'll tell you about it later, Saturday show, may become part of Scores in September, but details will follow. And we will let you know.
A lot of interesting things coming up.
A lot of interesting things coming up. So it's going to be a lot of Earl sounds like he's having a little bit of a teenage girl party in the back of his car.
Yeah. He's got these interesting things going on. I'm in the middle of driving, and Alex farted in the back seat and he's asleep.
Alex farted in his sleep.
Yeah.
Well, between you and Alex, I'm surprised that the girls are not riding on top of the car to avoid the stench.
Right. I want to ride on top of the car to avoid the stench, but I have to drive it.
Yeah. Is that because
That's bad. No.
Is that
True story? Now this just happened. Okay, we're in a rest area here on 71. We're going 71 south right now.
Yep.
And we had to stop. We had to take a pee break.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I go in and God, somebody's taking a massive shit.
And it was Earl.
It's bad. I walked in there like, oh God, like whoever's doing this is a champion. This guy comes out, he flushes, and he's smiling. So I step back out of the bathroom after I'm done. Lori comes out of the bathroom. She goes, Jesus Christ, did you shit? And I'm like, no, but it was that guy right there.
You pointed him out because he was proud of it. He gave such butt birth he named it. There have been times I've had to squeeze out so hard that I've told Bella that she's now a big sister.
Yeah. It feels like you're giving birth.
It feels like I've torn my placenta. Right. And that should just not happen to anyone ever.
We should squeeze out pepperoni size and we squeeze out salami size.
There you go.
Yeah.
Watermelon through my boo-boo hole. Anyway, so yeah, as I mentioned, there was that. Tony, you mentioned on Wednesday that you're going to be taking some time to do your summer things.
Yep.
So
because I won't, since the new Scores starts in August. Yep. So obviously, you won't hear me on Friday nights with them. Something's going down the road. And then the one thing is, as well, is summertime, like July and August, are typically a very slow sports time. They always are. There's really, I love baseball to death, but it's tough. It's tough to talk about. There's always more to talk about when it comes to college and pro football season. Obviously. So what I am going to do is once the NBA finals are done, I am going to put my Wednesday night on hiatus temporarily, and I will be back in time for college and pro football season.
And with any, and if there's any indication, that's probably going to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it could be by the. Yeah,
if you're gauging it by the finals.
If I'm gauging it by the finals, I would say 2 more Wednesdays because that'll take me through the end of June.
There you go.
So we'll do that, and then obviously the new Scores will take over in August.
And you mentioned that pro wrestling is something else that you favor covering. I'm sure that you've got some things that you want to add about the Super Show that took place earlier today. Or I'm sorry, tomorrow.
No, that was
today.
Today,
yeah.
I
thought so.
Good God, I tried. I watched it till like 10 till 5 until I had to leave and do something. They just ran that way too long, and the matches were just boring as shit.
Okay. Well, see, there you go. There's something else to look forward to on Sports Track that's coming up this Wednesday.
Yeah. And
because I'm sure that you'll have an opportunity to replay it and get to the end.
Yeah, we'll get into that Wednesday night.
They build it as a WrestleMania for Saudi Arabia, which WrestleMania has become an overdrawn 4-hour snooze fest.
Yeah, it was 6 hours this last time.
Good Lord, 6 hours.
It went to almost 1 in the morning. They started at 7, went to almost 1 in the morning.
That's
way too much.
Yeah, that's a lot of man. That's a lot of man meat to watch there.
Yeah. So,
and then tomorrow morning on Cinderblock Sports, we will have Mary Kay Cabot join us live in the studio, I believe. Last week we had Hoinsey, but he actually called in. Mary Kay is going to be joining us in the studio to talk about Browns minicamp and the things that Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr. are doing for the Browns. So I think that covers it for announcements. We got the stunt. We got the new scores. We got things looking up in September. We got the Friday football. So that's good for announcements. Earl, anything you want to add?
Like I said, just of course, and then our final show with our current crew will be July
26. Yep.
I will be here for that.
Yeah. And we will be doing that show, and then we'll hand the reins over. And then, like I said, there will be a new show starting in September. I'm not going to give too much detail about it yet.
Right.
But it's going to be a very different show than what we've heard on the station in a long time.
Yep.
So it's going to be a very interesting show, and you're going to hear some familiar voices. That's all I'm going to say at this point.
Okay. Good thing. Good thing. Always good to stick around with and listen in on the SKL Radio Network. We sometimes we even get to the point where some of these announcements are just like, hey, you know what? We're cutting the ad for it and listening for the ad. So, tune in during the day, tune in the middle of the night. I work overnights, and a lot of times I get these ads like 3 o'clock in the morning in the inbox and say, here, put this up, and it goes up.
Yep.
So, listening in the overnight, you might learn something new. All right, great. Earl, you going to stick around for a bit?
No, I got to get back to driving.
All right, you go drive.
Maybe I might pop back in a little later and say hi again. So.
Outstanding. Well, we're going to cut the show short to about an hour and a half because everybody wants to sleep, so you may want to do it quick. Anyway, we do that when the president's not around.
Yeah.
And we can get away with stuff, and we just pay the consequences later. Earl, thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy your drive.
Drive safe.
Don't crash in any trees. That's Tony's job.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that to Tony.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. That was Earl.
All right.
Who likes to take a really long time to say goodbye. We still have Father John with us, who's
Yes, we
going to
do.
babysit us because, let's face it,
Yes.
we need babysitting.
We need some supervision.
Oh,
I don't think it'll supervise you guys. Trust me.
You can try.
Are you the one that needs supervising from us then? Is that how that works?
Oh, trust me. I got my supervision done for the week. All right. I was in a hospital this week for 2 days.
What happened?
Pancreatitis.
Ooh.
Pancreatitis. The gift,
Oh yeah.
the gift that keeps on giving.
No, that was the gift that was giving me pain in my gut. And I said, okay, enough's enough.
There you go. So I'm going to try to pull up some stuff that I was going to bring up. I'm stuck in live mode. I don't want to be stuck in live mode on my phone.
Don't feel bad there, John. After my chest was a bit sore. I bruised the muscles over my chest when I when my seatbelt locked up on me when I totaled my car, and it's finally I'm finally able to cough and sneeze without it hurting.
Well, that's a good thing. Trust me. I'm still eating small portions at this point.
Yeah, I've been there. I've had to, like in mine, I would struggle to button my pants just because it was like you're trying to, and then you feel your chest muscles tighten up, and I'm just like, okay, what the fuck? And it's just finally, and I knew after when when he did everything, I didn't break my sternum because I did the last accident I was in 15 years ago. But that's because the seatbelt failed and my chest hit the steering wheel.
Crunch.
Yes. Complete fracture. And you don't cast your chest.
Crunch, crunch, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is.
So, yes. So much better.
So one of the things I wanted to mention here, and we're going to run through some of the stuff that I had saved in the next segment here.
Okay.
But you were talking about, you reminded me, you were talking about, trying to do your pants up here.
Yeah.
You missed out last week.
Okay.
Because last week, for the first time in I cannot remember how long, I wore jeans to the studio.
Wow.
Now, I've been wearing these stretchy pants, these jogging pants, because they were the only thing that would go over my gut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I wore them today because I did laundry this morning, or I did laundry yesterday evening. You work overnights, you can't tell morning from evening anymore.
Yeah. I've been there.
And they were the first thing I grabbed, and I just put them on. But last week I wore jeans. that with anybody who's been listening to the show for the station for the last year knows I've been complaining left and right about a variety of health problems that I've been having. And talking about how I'm old, fat, and falling apart, and refer to myself as just pushing 50. So about a little bit less than a month ago, when I went to my doctor and I said, I've got this laundry list of things that's going on, he pointed it out to my weight and my eating habits. And I think it was at that point I decided I've got to do something about this, or I'm not going to be pushing 50. I'm going to be pushing daisies.
Yeah.
So I jumped on the keto diet. And I decided on that because my sister my sister was doing it, and she did it very successfully for the past couple of years, and she looks phenomenal. And I had a friend of mine that I worked at the big fruit stand with, and he did it, and I looked at pictures of him before and after doing it for a year, and I'm like, fuck, if he can do it, there's no reason I can't. I bought a scale. I do a lot of Amazon shopping. Sorry, small business, but when the wife takes the car to take the little girl to the therapies, and I'm stuck at home all day, I got to do the Amazon shopping.
Understandable.
So I bought a scale, and the first time I weighed myself, I was like maybe just shy of a couple of weeks after I started the diet, and I went from 290 to 273, 17 pounds in 2 weeks. So I must be doing something right. And that's motivation enough to keep going. If it wasn't the fact that, hey, I squeezed myself into, I didn't even have to squeeze myself into the jeans. Squeezing myself into the jeans was another one of the things that prompted me to do this. I was tired of, I talked to my wife when I started wanting to do this. And I said, look, I can count on one hand each article of clothing that I have that I can still wear. I had like one pair of pants I could wear. I had like 5 t-shirts. I have a collection of t-shirts, and I only had 5 I could wear comfortably and not have anything hanging out of the bottom. And so it's really worked for me, and I'm very proud of it, and I wanted to share that, and that's that. So hopefully over the months to come, you will see less and less of me as I dwindle into stick figure Aaron, and Earl will stick boobs on me because he likes boobs on stick figures.
Yeah. But it's like myself. It's just, I had to sit back and look at, how your memories come up on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I had one come up in 2011. Mm-hmm. I'd been at my current job about 4 years. And, of course, this is, 8 years ago. So, I'm in mid-30s.
Mm-hmm.
And it said, hey, hallelujah, I finally fit into my 34, 32 jeans. I haven't fit into them since high school.
There you go.
I now wear a 38, which I'm down to a little bit. And it's weird because my 38 carpenters fit, but my 38 regular jeans, I can't button them up.
Okay. So
it's kind of, so it's a little weird. Same way I have to buy my work pants one size up bigger, just for some reason they fit smaller.
Right.
So, and I looked at that and I'm like, 8 years ago I fit into a 34, 32, and now I wear a 38.
Yeah.
I'm like, gotta do something. So my biggest thing, I don't want to turn out diabetic.
Right. You don't.
No, because my dad did because of his weight. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to sit there because, I drive a truck of junk food around all day. See, obviously, I give in the temptation, might eat a pastry here, candy bar there, just something to get me the sugar to get through the day. I've got nothing that's really healthy on my truck.
If I drove a junk food truck, they would be asking me, hey, why'd that shipment disappear? Like,
I mean, I try to, when we get fresh food,
yep.
We get these little cheese trays. I can eat those a little bit because they're not carbs. So I can deal with the cheese. I might eat a little bit of, maybe a little bit of lunch meat or something, like some turkey or something, but not the bread. Our bread sucks anyway. It's all white, and I don't eat any white bread.
Right.
Only bread I ever eat is wheat.
Yep.
That's all I've ever eaten since I've lived on my own.
That
my
is
whole
going
life.
to be very helpful in keeping carbs down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And about there are only 3 things I eat as far as bread wise are wheat bread,
mm-hmm.
Bagels, plain bagels, and tortillas.
And I have not had any bread. Not a lick of bread since we started this.
Yeah, you're totally zero on the carbs.
Here's the thing. I'm allowing myself 25. I've got an app on my phone called Carb Manager. It allows me 25 grams of carbs per day.
Per day.
I remember when I started as a diabetic, I was told 25 grams of carbs per meal.
Okay.
And now I'm like, well, that's not working because I'm still having problems. Okay, well, we're going to cut that down further. So that's why you see me eating a lot of steak and a lot of veggies and a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
Oh my God, have I gone nuts with the steak and eggs?
Yeah, I eat a ton of eggs.
I'm going through deli meat like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Because I snack on that. I talk a little bit more about that and some more tidbits in the news that we're going to laugh at here. You're listening to the SKO Radio Network here. You're listening to some kind of radio show here on the SKO Radio Network. One of these days, the buttons I push are going to work. We will be right back. We're going to hold off on being right back because apparently, I don't know, something just happened to... There we go.
Okay.
Now, are we broadcasting?
Some kind of radio show, exclusively here on the SKO Radio Network.
John, you still with us? John Sinsel. He put the phone down.
And Aaron Kaback will walk into the Debbie McCune Broadcast Center, the SKO Radio Network, and attempt to stay on the air for a full 72 hours in a row. Here's where you come in. If you're a business owner, contact us at 234-706-5857 or office at skoradio.com for hourly pledging opportunities. Once again, that number is 234-706-5857, and the email is office at skoradio.com. If you'd like to donate on a personal level, simply go to skoradio.com and click the donate button on the main page to find out more. Please help us to support this very worthy cause, because no child should have to face cancer alone.
I am so happy.
Delicious delicacy? No, thanks. Taste explosion? Food?
No thanks.
Yeah, a bit dodgy, isn't it? Looks like a dead baby's finger. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Tastes like it. I'm Colin, by the way.
I'm Nancy.
Wicked. What do you do, Nancy?
I'm a cook.
Ever do weddings?
Yes, I do.
Should have asked you to do this one.
I did.
God, I wish you hadn't turned it down.
I didn't.
Right. I've just worked out why I can never find true love.
What's that?
English girls. They're stuck up, you see. And I am primarily attractive to girls who are, you know, cooler, game for a laugh. Like American girls. So I should just go to America. I would get a girlfriend there instantly. What do you think?
I think it's crap, Colin.
That's where you're wrong. American girls would seriously dig me with my cute British accent.
You don't have a cute British accent.
Yes, I do. I'm going to America.
Colin, you're a lonely, ugly arsehole. And you must accept it.
Never. I am Colin, god of sex. I'm just on the wrong continent, that's all.
You'll come back a broken man.
Yeah, back broken. Too much sex.
You are on the road to disaster.
No, I'm on Shag Highway, heading west. Farewell, failure. America, watch out! Here comes Colin Frisell.
and he's got a big knob.
You're listening to Some Kind of Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network. Call now at 234-200-5110. Again, that's 234-200-5110. Now here's Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
Welcome back to Some Kind of Radio Show. Sorry for the little hiccup there. Our automation software decided to say, hey, you know what? I want to take a little bit of a break. But hey, we are here. We are live. And this is what happens when you do live radio.
Anything can happen.
Things mess up.
Yes.
We're continuing to talk about diet and food and stuff because, hey, you know what? Fat guys will do that. Tony here was mentioning about Country Kitchen and some of the all-you-can-eat breakfast. I was running down the things where I have been studying nutrition guides for restaurants, both fast food and sit-down, for probably about the last 3 weeks. Excuse me, trying to figure out where I can go and what I can eat when I get there, because that's kind of the trouble spot there. I was a whore for out food.
Yeah.
And especially, when it came to fast food, I would, you saw me come in here with just bags and bags of food because I would spend hours and hours here. So I'm like, oh wait, this bag is for lunch and this bag is for dinner. And now I have to plan around, okay, how can I squeeze, all of this into just 25 carbs a day? So you got to get creative. And there's a lot of these restaurants, a lot of these fast food places have made their nutritional guides interactive.
Yes.
Arby's is very interactive. You can take a sandwich and pull things apart and it'll still give you the nutritional value. Sheets, you say, that's what I want to order. This is how I want to order it. And it'll give you the nutritional values. It's really cool. Taco Bell was doing that. And I did Taco Bell for about a minute and a half. And what I discovered with Taco Bell was that, I really love Taco Bell burritos. Loved them. And I thought, well, I could still do it. I just have to scrape the stuff out of the tortilla. I was very, very disappointed when I opened up a tortilla and realized that there's very little stuff actually on the inside. And it's mostly tortilla. And that's why when you look at the nutritional information on a burrito itself, it's like jam-packed with carbs because most of it, it's like 95% tortilla. And it's not, it's flour tortilla. It's white, full carbs going, kill you tortilla. So I 86 that. And that's kind of hard because we had a little tradition when we were doing the Half Cock Show that I would come home Saturday night with a box of tacos for me and my wife. And we would just sit there and, kind of the daughter was going to sleep and we would sit there and just kind of chat about the day and eat tacos.
Yeah.
And that was kind of our bonding thing. And now we're just like comparing, okay, well, how did you do and how did I do and blah, blah, blah. Oh, one thing to mention, this is also fun that's been going on. In parenthood, one of the difficulties of parenthood was that when my son was 7, 8 years old, he was in elementary school, he broke his nose sledding. He was sliding down this hill that was behind a McDonald's, and they called it Hamburger Hill. Go figure. And apparently there was a chain link fence, not a chain link fence, but a fence with a chain that went alongside it.
Yeah.
And it was covered in a snow mound. And so he went to sliding down the hill, went into the snow mound, caught his face on the chain, broke his nose. So he actually had to have his septum repaired. That was my first experience in, okay, my kid has to go to the hospital and stuff like that. Last week, my wife took my daughter to one of those trampoline parks, one of those trampoline places.
The jump places.
Yeah, jump places. And she was all excited for it. She was like, oh, stuff for me to jump on. She lasted 15 seconds. And I'm not exaggerating. It was literally 15 seconds. She jumped on a trampoline. She's got a trampoline at home. But, being autistic, it's one of those, it's got no give. It's just for her to, blow off steam. It's a sensory seeking thing. She got on those trampolines and bounced. She's like, oh, look what I could do. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, and then found herself with her leg caught in the edge where it's padded, but she got her foot up under the padding. and broke her ankle.
Ow.
Broke her ankle. We thought it was twisted.
Yeah.
But when we got to the emergency room and got it x-rayed, she's like, nope, that's broken. So she got one of those soft casts with the ace bandage, and then we went to the orthopedist Wednesday, and she got a nice big pink cast going all the way up her leg. Now, she's had an adaptive stroller because she's a runner, and we talked a little bit about that last week with the the signs for kids that are runners. So she's been almost living between that and bed. She's been living in that and the bed. Fast forward to Daddy has, and I'm grateful that I'm starting to get somewhat in shape, because now I'm lifting weights about 70 pounds at a time when I have to put her on the potty. So this is my first forte as a parent with a broken bone, where it's like, okay, you're immobilized. I have to,
help you along.
And my wife jokingly said, well, this is practice for when you have to do this for your parents. I almost wanted to laugh, but I'm like, I'm not going to be the one that's doing that. I've got people in my family who are in the medical profession. They can do it.
That's their forte.
That's their forte. So it's been an interesting week, because there have been times where I've been woken up from a dead sleep in the middle of the day because my wife, whose back is worse than mine, says, Bella wants to go to the bathroom. I'm like, I was sleeping. But that's what happens when you say, if you need anything, you wake me up and let me know. You've opened the door. And I left that door open. So that was what happened there. And it's been fun.
I mean, in my childhood, between kindergarten and senior year of high school, I've managed to break. I've never broken a wrist or an ankle. I broke my right arm, my radius and ulna twice, and I broke the humerus. I fell on it. Let's see here. I've broken my femur on my left leg, and I broke my tibia and fibia on my right. And then, let's see here. Well, I fractured my skull and later on, and I shattered 2 vertebrae.
So basically, we put you back together with parts.
Pretty much.
There you go.
The 2 shattered vertebrae never really got replaced. I
think it would be hard to put, to replace vertebrae.
Yeah.
I think what they do is just put pins in it.
Yep.
I shared a story with you on Facebook, and I want to touch on this because this was funny. Because oddly enough, you were the first person. You were the second person I thought of when I saw this. TSA security at Cleveland Hopkins Airport detained a traveler who had a loaded handgun in his carry-on bag.
A former co-host of mine.
And the first person I thought of was Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, that is totally something he would do. He would have got caught doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
well, actually, who I would think even worse than him, even more so than him, was his attorney friend that would sit on this every now and then, because everywhere Jason went, he always had it on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, when he would have to walk into a federal building, he'd have to, obviously, he has his CCW permit,
right?
And then, he also got a permit because he's a federal firearms licensed dealer.
Sure.
So he would walk through with that, but then he would have to lock it up, and then he could, when he would leave, he could, unlock the box and take it with him,
right?
Like a police officer would.
Sure.
So, because if you're an attorney, you walk in the courtroom, you just can't have it on your waist unless you're law enforcement. But he would walk with it everywhere. He'd even come in here with it. Then Sean started wearing his shoulder holster.
Right.
And
I'm sitting here reading this story, and there's no mention of. I mean, it just goes on and on about how many times people have gotten stopped trying to carry on weapons.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you could
no mention of who it was, and that's why it said it had to have been Sean.
Yeah. I would have totally agreed, because it's funny because you get we had a councilman here in Akron who got busted doing it. Oh, I forgot I had it in my bag.
Yeah,
that's what they try saying with it, because you could pack it into your checked baggage as long as you're going to a state where you're legally allowed to carry it.
Right.
Which for the most part is all 50 states, one way or the other.
One way or the other, yeah.
Yeah, whether it's open or concealed carry. So. Yeah, it was always funny. As a matter of fact, I remember the guy that was in Akron, Marco Somerville, because he was supposed to be our next mayor, which didn't turn out to be true. But he goes to Akron Canton Airport. Oh, I forgot I had my loaded 45 Magnum and 44 Magnum in my carry-on. I mean, this gun could blow a hole in you the size of your head.
Right.
and you forgot Dirty Harry's gone.
And here's where I come down on it here. Here's I'm going to put my 2 cents in here. You're going to carry it on. You're going to carry it on. Okay. I mean, we're in a day and age where, gun rights are gun rights, and people are going to carry, and that's fine. I'm all for it. I'm not going to, tip my hand on that. Carrying it loaded is a whole other ballgame. Okay. Which means you've got your magazines in. God forbid you actually even have a round in the chamber. Because at that point you're saying, go ahead, make my day. At least, have your ammo you want to have your ammo in a separate bag. That makes sense. You want to have your ammo in the same bag. All right, fine. You've only got one carry-on. So be it. But just don't walk into the airport with it loaded. You're asking for trouble. That's like that one scene in the very first Airplane movie where the guy sees his friend Jack and he goes, "Hi, Jack," and everybody comes and tackles him. He said, "Hi, Jack." So
just a mistake. When I'm at home, I have one in the chamber ready to go. But when I carry, I pop out my magazine, clear the chamber, put that round back in the magazine, and then I would walk around with it unloaded. As far as not one in the chamber, but I do have my magazine in, and if it's needed to be used, one pull back, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll.
I used to kid by saying that my favorite form of discipline was telling my son, "Hey, look, do I need to put one in the chamber?" Shut him up. Yeah, I mean, it was a joke. When I explained it to him, it was a joke. He thought it was funny, but I say that to people. It's like, you would shoot your own child? Do you really? Well, but we live in Cleveland, and people are killing their kids. So anyway,
they say silence is gold and duct tape is silver.
There you go. Website. I want you to check out this website. This is the funniest thing I have seen all week, and I saw this today.
Okay.
2020trumpbill.com.
And spell it.
20trumpbill.com. They are actually they're giving away. You just pay for the shipping, which is like $3.50. They are giving away what legitimately looks like, but it's clearly marked that it's not legal tender, but it legitimately looks like a $20 bill, except it's two 20s. It's 2020 a la the next presidential election with Donald Trump's face on it. Now, wouldn't this be the perfect gift for just about anybody? I mean, if you've got conservative friends, they'll love it. You've got liberal friends, they'll hate you for it. It's like that gag gift. This is a Christmas stocking stuffer. Get as many of these as you can. I'm telling you, this is yep. And yep, I've got the link on.
You said trumpbill.com.
2020trumpbill.com.
That's okay. TRUMPBILL.
Yep.
2020 Trump bill. Okay. It redirected me to another site. Click. Funnels.
Here. Go ahead and look at my phone for a second here. That's what I was talking about. I used to watch Jeopardy a lot. I used to watch it just about every day because, more so for the ability to be able to answer the questions on my own than anything else. I'd sit there and watch and go, oh, hey, and answer like I was a contestant. And no, I never had any ambition to be a contestant. I don't watch anymore so much because I work at nights, and at my 7 to 8 o'clock hours, usually me getting ready for work because I start work at 8. But everybody who's everybody has heard, because it's been all over the news, about this sports gambler from Vegas who went on a win streak. Went on a win streak of about 27 days. Won like $2 million.
Yeah, just missed Ken Jennings' record.
Got within scratching distance of the robot Ken Jennings, and lost to a librarian from Utah, I think.
I think so.
And here's the fun part. There's two things to this. One, there's a picture of it right there.
Yeah.
And I've got this link on the website. She's kind of tasty.
Not bad looking. She's probably Mormon.
That's fine.
I've done a Mormon before.
I don't mind sharing.
No.
Just as long as I go first. I don't want it to taste like anything else.
No.
And two, the other thing is that there's people are running around screaming conspiracy theory, saying, he threw it, blah, blah, blah. I think back, I watched Ken Jennings run. I watched Ken Jennings' last match.
When he lost.
And he blew the
Final Jeopardy answer.
Final Jeopardy answer. I mean, he just absolutely bombed it. Because as soon as the question went up, everybody's like, oh, it's post office. Post office. It's like it's something about who hires the most holiday help. Some weird question like that. Between December.
And he put H&R Block.
I think, it's like the IRS or H&R Block, something to do with taxes. We put his answer up. I'm like, oh, he's done playing this game. He doesn't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you botch that unless you botch it on purpose. You got to a point where it's like, okay, I've won an ass ton of money. I'm kind of done doing this.
Yeah. Mental fatigue could start settling in.
Guy that played for Salt Lake City, big German guy, Kurt.
Herb Street?
Basketball.
Yeah.
Nowitzki?
Nowitzki, thank you.
He played for Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
One of those white bread towns. I don't know.
Okay.
He retired saying, I don't miss going to work.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it anymore. I was done.
He had his one title.
You get to a point when you don't want to do what you've been doing, where it's like, you know what? I just don't look forward to it anymore. That's when you walk away from it. I don't want to work anymore. I walk away. I like my job. I love my job. I love what I'm doing. I love where I'm doing it. I love how I'm doing it. I'm not walking away from this anytime soon. What I do here, I love it. I'm not walking away from it anytime soon. When and if it gets to the point where it's like, you know what? I'm just not, I'm not getting the enjoyment out of it. That's when I'm going to walk away. And that's when Ken walked away. And that's when James Holzhauser walked away. He said, all right, I won 27 games in a row. I won $2 million. I'm done.
And I had a theory as well, is because, he was a gambler.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that he probably, because he knew, because these episodes were recorded a couple months ago.
Yep.
He knew, and under silence, in order not to lose his winnings, one of his conditions of eligibility was he had to be quiet about,
right,
about the whole situation, about the result.
Yep.
I had thrown out a theory to somebody else, and they told me I was nuts. But then, the more and more you think about it, it might make sense. He's a gambler.
Yep.
Of course, Vegas doesn't want him betting on a lot of things. There's a lot of Vegas you could gamble on just about anything in Vegas.
Yes.
I had the theory that not him, but a proxy.
Somebody placing bets for him.
Somebody placing bets on when he would lose. He throws it at this time. He's not going to make an absolute ton of money, but put $100,000 and it might pay 30 to 1, which would be $3 million.
Yep.
Have the proxy do it, split the money with them. Let them say, okay, well, I want to put I just have a feeling that, today's the day he's going to lose. I want to put $100,000. And there's a lot of sports books that would be happy to take it.
Right.
And
wouldn't even look twice.
They wouldn't even look twice. And then, okay, well, he loses on this day. Well, that sports books made money because there's been people that have been betting on.
For the one guy that won, there's like 17 guys that lost.
Yeah.
And they took their money.
Yeah, he took their money. So he had no problem paying out $3 million to somebody because Lord knows he's at least profited that already.
Oh, yeah.
On the bets. And somebody was like, do you think? And I'm like, he wouldn't have bet himself, but he could have had a proxy bet for him.
Oh, yeah.
Like a straw better, because the same term in guns is straw buyer.
Right.
Okay, well, I'm buying you a gun legally since you can't have one. I'm a straw buyer. Well, a straw better.
Right. It's kind of the same thing who was it? Martha Stewart.
Yeah, insider trading.
When she was busted for insider trading, she had kind of the same thing going on.
Yep.
Only the difference was what she was doing is actually against the law.
Yeah.
Because the Federal Trade Commission comes down and says, I'm sorry, not the Federal Trade, the
SEC.
Yeah, Securities and Exchange Commission. I try not to use acronyms as much as possible.
Yeah.
Here's why. ATM stands for Automated Teller Machine.
To me, it was like anytime money.
When somebody says to me ATM machine, I want to punch them in the face.
Because machine's already in ATM.
Because the M in ATM stands for machine, you doorknob.
Yeah.
Let's take it one step further. When you punch the little numbers on the ATM.
Your PIN code.
Your PIN.
Yeah, not your PIN
the
code.
first person that says PIN number, I want to punch them in the face again with my foot. Because the N in PIN stands for number.
Yeah.
Unozzle. So that's why I try to educate people here. This is what these letters mean.
The Securities and Exchange Commission.
Yes.
But it could also mean the Southeastern Conference.
Yes, because
which I'm a fan of.
Let's face it, Clemson. Tide is in the SEC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clemson's ACC.
I know Big Ten and MAC.
Yeah.
The rest, I'm guessing.
Well, but
Texas is Big 12. That I remember. Texas and Oklahoma are Big 12.
Yes,
that
they are in Kansas and Kansas State.
And so is West Virginia.
And West Virginia's Big 12 now.
Now,
too.
here's the thing. I raised this question to somebody. When the Pac-10 gained 2 more teams, they changed their name to the Pac-12. It made sense. Okay.
The Big 12.
The Big 8 has 12 teams, or the Big 8 has 10 teams, and the Big 10 has 12 teams.
Yep.
Why are their names not changing? No, it's rhetorical. Don't blow up my phone or the text box with answers. I know.
Because the Big 12 has 10 and the Big 10 has 12.
Because let's face it, there's money involved. Yes, the Big 12 has 8 and the Big 10 has 12.
Yep.
Actually, I think the Big 10 has 14 now.
Yeah, with Rutgers and
Maryland.
Yep. So you are correct on that one.
But there's like a ton of cash that went into merchandising, logo, marketing, blah, blah, blah.
So they won't change it.
They don't want to change
Well, and here's the thing, too, is a lot of people.
Nobody's paying attention to the Pac-12.
On a slight parallel.
It's the West Coast.
On a slight parallel to what you're talking about, like people might say, okay, you got to blow your nose, grab a Kleenex, which is a brand of something, but we use it as a generic term.
For a tissue.
If you're going to photocopy something, you're going to Xerox it.
Right.
If you're going to ship something, usually you're going to FedEx it.
Right.
Which I don't always use FedEx to ship. I don't always use a Kleenex to blow my nose. I might use a Puffs.
Or are you going to get into a jacuzzi or a hot tub?
Yeah.
There you go. So those are renters.
Yeah, similar things like.
I think there's a list of those at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just I don't always use that term. It's just like I'll say TP for toilet paper because it's obviously bath tissue toilet paper is interchangeable. It's not a name brand.
I just go with butt wipings.
Yeah, I always just say ass wipe.
Well, I do that. I do that, and then Dylan shows up, and I don't need him in my bathroom anymore.
No,
the last time was just too creepy.
Having him stare you while you're dropping the kids off the pool.
I'm telling you, and when he starts licking his lips when he's doing that, that's where I got to draw the line, Dylan. It's just kind of, please, and thank you. Enough about Dylan. Let's talk about us. We're going to take a break. We're going to play another clip from Love Actually here. You are listening to some kind of radio show here on the SKO Radio Network. Oh, please don't crash on me again. Oh, look, there it goes. Every time I'm telling you, every time I go to play his clip, it's not responding. I may have to reload this. This is going to be some fun. There we go.
There we go. Progress.
You're listening to the SKO Radio Network. We will be right back.
Insurance Group is Northeast Ohio's #1 choice for insurance solutions. They're proud to offer auto, life, home, pet, and business insurance, not to mention renters insurance, RV, boat, and motorcycle insurance as well. They also offer insurance solutions for rental and commercial properties too. The ZM Insurance Group has been insuring amazing businesses and awesome families in Ohio since 2008. They make the insurance process easy and no appointments are necessary. You can follow the ZM Insurance Group on Twitter at ZM Insurance, on Facebook at ZM Insurance Group, and on Instagram at ZM Insurance. Call the ZM Insurance Group today at 330-777-0092. Once again, that's 330-777-0092. We here at the SKO Radio Network have 2 causes that we hold close to our hearts. They are to help out children and the eradication of cancer. That's why over Labor Day weekend this year, we will be holding a radiothon to support kids crushing cancer. Starting on Friday, August 30th at 8 p.m., Earl McCune, Dylan Thompson, Mike Haigh, and Aaron Kaback will walk into the Debbie McCune Broadcast Center, the SKO Radio Network, and attempt to stay on the air for a full 72 hours in a row. Here's where you come in. If you're a business owner, contact us at 234-706-5857 or office@skoradio.com for hourly pledging opportunities. Once again, that number is 234-706-5857, and the email is office@skoradio.com. If you'd like to donate on a personal level, simply go to skoradio.com and click the donate button on the main page to find out more. Please help us to support this very worthy cause, because no child should have to face cancer alone.
So, what's the problem, Samuel? Is it just mom, or is it something else? Hmm? Maybe school? Are you being bullied? Or is it something worse? Can you give me any clues, no?
You really want to know?
I really want to know.
Even though you won't be able to do anything to help.
Even if that's the case, yeah.
Okay. Well, truth is, actually, I'm in love.
Sorry?
I know I should be thinking about Mum all the time, and I am. But the truth is, I'm in love. And I was before she died. There's nothing I can do about it.
Aren't you a bit young to be in love?
No?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm a little relieved.
Why?
But because I thought it would be something worse.
Worse than the total agony of being in love.
No, you're right. Yeah, total agony.
You're listening to Some Kind of Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network. Call now at 234-200-5110. Again, that's 234-200-5110. Now here's Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Someday we're going to figure out how to get the computer to play our bits without trying to crash. Last thing I want to do is try to restart it in the middle of a show, because that would be sad. But we are back here on Some Kind of Radio Show. Aaron the Voice Kaback, Tony the Comedy Killer is with me. Mike will be walking in any second now. He told me maybe about half an hour ago, he was 40 minutes out, so he'll be sauntering in and interrupting us because, that's kind of his motif, but that's fine. We love him anyways. About 40 minutes ago. Father John is on the phone with us. Father John, you've been emotionally quiet during all of this. Anything you'd like to weigh in? Yeah, the Trump bill. The Trump. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll tell you, the one thing that kind of got to me was that I didn't vote for the last guy. I was not pleased when he won and then won again. There, I can point at a lot of things that he did to and with the office that made that I actually got concussions from face palming so hard. I was about to be committed because people thought I was just slapping myself for no apparent reason. But it was the office. It was the office of the presidency, and that there's a certain air of respect. The one thing that kind of gets to me, I could never quite understand how people how this becomes a thing. In that the people say that came up with the phrase "not my president." And that may be all good and well, but I always preface that by saying, okay, let me ask you this. What country are you a citizen of? Because if it is not the United States of America, then whomever is sitting in that ovally shaped office at the present moment is in fact your president.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, get out.
Emigration is easy. Immigration is not so much. Yeah, I love when people say they're going to move to Canada. I've looked into it a couple of times for reasons not political. Immigration into Canada should be immigration into this country should be as hard as it is getting into Canada. It really should be. Oh my God, look into it sometime. I don't have the exact web address, but if you Google, immigration into Canada, you'll get to the Canadian State Department website. Actually, it's a ministry because they're all part of the Crown. But the Ministry of Immigration, or if it's close to that, will tell you that that is
it's difficult to.
Yeah, it's very difficult to.
Like, I have a friend of mine from high school, her husband got transferred into Canada.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to work up there without becoming citizens for a while, up to a point, and then they transferred him back because, it's even different, because like Canada, you can't own property up there. You can rent a place, and then eventually get a driver's license, but you're still not a citizen.
Right.
Like a permanent resident here could do the same thing. You can rent, couldn't necessarily own property, but you can still get a driver's license and still be employed as a non-resident alien.
Exactly.
That sort of thing. And I will give some credit too. Mexico is starting to hold people up to the Central American border.
Yes, they are. Finally.
Yeah, our tariffs are.
Actually, the threat of tariffs. Now, I've read a tweet that the president had put out earlier today. We're saying, hey, the Mexican government, we're in talks. We're very hopeful for these talks. They're going really well. If they work out the way that I hope they will, by Monday, Mexico will be buying agricultural goods en masse. Wonderful, great for American farmers. If we can, we can get our avocados. If not, then the 5% tariffs will be in effect, and that's where they went with that. On the other hand, for the 17 people that messaged me in various ways to tell me that John was muted, thank you. I got it. He's not muted anymore. We can hear him loud and clear. Everyone who
they didn't even hear anything then.
Basically, we missed the little bit of the first part of that, and that was my fault because I muted you during the break. But that's on me. If your name is not Earl, thank you. We got it. Earl caught it first. He's the grand prize winner.
Well, Earl would always say, "You're fired."
You know what? It's not Earl. That Dylan was the one who would fire me every week. Dylan fired me on a regular basis, usually because I came in here wearing something maize and blue. Often, the first time I met Dylan, I was wearing something maize and blue, and it's like, you can't work here with that. I'm like, well, I'm already here, so. And that was and then of course the running gag that I was firing people, which we'll get into off the air again. So that's kind of our thing. Dylan fires me and I fire everybody else. So, but between the two of us, it'll be amazing if anybody's left here come tomorrow morning. But there was somewhere that I was going with that, and that's what I love about these kind of conversations. You get off on a tangent, you try to circle back to the beginning, and you're like, well, that didn't work.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a funny story, Aaron.
Hit me. First
time I met Dylan. I actually had a West Virginia shirt on. West Virginia's colors are pretty close to Michigan.
Yes, they are.
He gave me a double take, like, what is that?
Right.
And I said, oh, it's West Virginia. You don't got to worry about it. It's not Michigan.
Right. I think the next time I was wearing a Toledo hat, and it was maize and blue, and he was like, Yeah, I think I got the same double take out of him that you did. He just kind of stared at it for a while, and I'm like, I know I'm pretty, but if you're going to stare like that, you got to buy me dinner first. And
exactly.
And he didn't, but
it was worth a shot.
It was worth a shot.
I'm all about free food.
That this is what I love about when Dylan goes away for like weeks at a time. Just
yeah. And guess where Dylan is?
He's in Michigan.
Yeah,
he is in Michigan, and we are not letting up on that. We are having fun at his expense because he had mentioned that he was. Oh, good. ESPN is here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sports Center is breaking in. We had mentioned that he was in Michigan and he was not enjoying it, and of course, once he does that, everybody's the hosts, our good friends Chris and Steph.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, if they were to, when you perform an autopsy on them at the time of their passing, you are going to find that they actually do, in fact, bleed
scarlet
and gray. I think one of them bleeds scarlet and the other bleeds gray. I think they invented the Buckeye necklace. They have so many of them. That's probably why you never see myself and either of them in the same room at the same time. And if you do, it is usually for a very short amount of time, like the staff meetings once every 3 months. And even both of them don't show up. It's like, if Aaron's going to be there, I don't want to be near the Michigan. You go be near the Michigan.
I forget. I was at a bar somewhere. Hang on Sloopy came on over the radio. It was not like, obviously it wasn't an Ohio State friendly bar.
Right.
And where they say OHIO.
Yeah.
They were shouting overrated.
I've heard that one.
And it's just like everybody knows I'm a Gators fan.
Right.
I bleed blue and orange.
Right.
Which is why at first I thought that our new logo was blue and orange, but Earl's like, well, it's blue and gold. But yeah, I see where you could figure the orange is coming in for the shine of the gold. And I'm like, yeah, yes, that's just kind of what I was thinking as far as the color scheme went. And and I always get on the Big Ten, especially Ohio State, because you look at how easy their schedule is. They're playing Mid-American Conference teams, or like last year, they had to open up against. They had to play TCU as their toughest of their first 4 games.
Yeah,
and then they opened up against Oregon State, and I'm like, when you got to play teams like when you let teams into the Big Ten like Rutgers and Maryland, and it's just there's only been a few teams that have really ever been good in the Big Ten.
Right.
Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. Michigan State's good in basketball, but in football they're iffy.
That's the thing. And trying not to turn this into Sports Show Part 3, but
yeah,
Rutgers and Maryland were brought in specifically as basketball schools, and look how they did this year.
Yeah.
So
terrible.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, we're trying to expand the Big Ten market out east. Wow. Rutgers being in New Jersey and Maryland, being in Maryland, and it's just like they want a big hold, and I'm like, go to the why everybody's like ESPN just kind of sucks off the SEC. You know why? Look at all the teams that have won titles.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn, Bama repeatedly. Florida won 2 out of 3 years. Mm-hmm. LSU won a national championship. Okay, A&M, they've had their good years or their down years.
Yep.
Whether it's Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Tennessee was good this year. That's why they're big. And you look at the conference they play. I'm like, okay, you want the Big Ten to prove something to me? Play a regular season non-conference game against an SEC school. And the thing that always pisses me off, why does every Ohio State fan, well, you remember that one year that we whooped on Alabama? Then I posted a picture one time. Then I posted a picture when Ohio State, the last time Ohio State was in the playoffs, and they went up against Clemson and they got shut out. And I posted a picture of Brutus the Buckeye crying. I had like 50 people delete me on Facebook.
Of course. That's a deletable offense.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I wanted to kind of reminisce. Now that Mike is walking in and this show's really going to take off and be funny.
He's the Punisher tonight.
I will definitely be punished. You're not wearing a hat. That's like this is a first. I don't think I've ever seen you not wear a hat, except for the one time that when you did Sam's pictures with you when I first met you. Yeah,
it's definitely a rarity.
So we've turned like Gay Pride Day into Gay Pride Week into Gay Pride Month. And now it's a whole month. And there's corporations and there's sports teams and everybody's getting on the gay bandwagon.
Except Chick-fil-A.
Except
for Chick-fil-A. And that one cake joint.
Yeah.
And here's where I'm drawing a line here, okay? I'm going to call out the New York City Football Club, which I'm kind of a passive fan because I can't actually watch the games, but I like.
You're not talking the Red Bulls.
No, I'm talking about the city team.
Okay.
They changed their logo and they wore rainbow numbers last week against Cincinnati. There's a few of the Hallmark, Target, a few of the corporations this month are changing their logos to be rainbow striped and everything else like that. When did companies become gay? When did companies have a sexual preference?
Right.
Okay. Now,
exactly.
Here's where I'm going to have a little bit of a hard time drawing this line because people are going to give me a hard time with this. Somebody in Massachusetts decided to try to organize a straight pride parade.
Yep.
Now, here's where there's the break off. The guy who tried to organize it has been known for organizing other white supremacist type rallies and things like that.
Right.
Okay, let's take that out of the equation for a moment because everybody's focusing on that. The rhetoric going around this month is that we have a lot of gay pride and there's a lot of anti-straight rhetoric. Where's the tolerance?
There's not.
Doesn't exist.
Shouldn't there be tolerance? I mean, shouldn't we be talking about tolerance? Isn't that the theme behind having that kind of pride? You're telling one group be proud and you're telling the other group don't be proud.
Shut up.
You're missing the point. We are supposed to tolerate them.
They don't have to tolerate us.
That's the whole point.
It only works one way.
It's all about us tolerating them because they have not been tolerated for, eons.
And it's like,
I'm not taking away from the fact that if you were gay in the 60s, 70s, 80s, life sucked. I get it.
It sucked a lot.
But
no pun intended.
No pun intended. But those times are gone for the most part. And I've said this in, our show, Aaron, when Half Cocked was going on. A lot of what we see in the media is not what the average person experiences in daily life.
Nope.
Homosexuality in my world, if you're gay, you're gay. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you want to hit on me, hit on me. Hit on me one time. I'll tell you I'm not gay, and we can be friends. That's as far as it has to go.
I'm going to kind of take it as a compliment if you hit on me. I'm kind of fugly.
Right. In daily life, it's not as big a deal as the media makes it out to be, but they sure as hell love to shove it down our throats.
Yeah. I mean, I have
no pun intended.
The puns keep flying. Unintended. But I know a lot of gay guys that I'm friends with and a lot of lesbians.
Right.
And here's the thing. That's why I was last week.
You would never know looking at them that they are. And even they agree with me. Don't come out here and live out in your rainbow colors and yada, 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 and force your sexuality on me. Be who you are. The same way with, if you want to serve in the military, be gay. If you're a guy, you're going to have to live with the other guys. Don't tell me I identify as a woman.
Right.
And I have to live with the women. No. You're going to live according to the, they try to tell us scientifically of all this climate change.
Yeah.
But then science proves there's only 2 genders.
Right.
But of course, they have 30 genders.
Oh.
Like I'm a non-binary person. I'm neither man nor woman. So you got to refer to me as themself or they self instead of.
Or whatever weird thing they go by.
Yeah.
That I would never think of until I say, excuse me, sir, I'm not a sir. I'm Timmy the Unicorn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't see a horn poking out of your head. Forgive me.
I identify as a tampon.
I identify as an asshole.
You don't have to. I think we've all identified as an asshole. It's going to fit right in.
Well, hell, I'm a hemorrhoid. I irritate assholes.
Right.
Hence, we're all in the room together, ladies and gentlemen.
But and that's the thing. Is it's like even my gay friends are like, I don't go out and you never know I was gay,
right?
By just how okay.
Unless they say hi, Darth.
Hi, Darth.
Oh, hi, Darth.
I gave Earl just an absolute. Actually, the thing was, Earl told me that was him. That's saying hi, Darth in that promo. Because for the longest time, I thought it was Dylan. If you listen to that, tell me that doesn't sound like Dylan.
It always sounded like Dylan.
That's not Earl.
And Earl is swearing up and down. It's vice versa.
Bullshit.
Dylan was doing the Darth Vader voice, and he was the one who said hi, Darth.
Hi, Darth.
And I'm like,
I don't buy it.
I told him, I said, listen to it with objective ears, which I know you can't because you're the one who cut it. That sounds like Dylan all day.
Yeah,
it does.
I don't buy it.
Earl, you're being called out. No one believes that you were the hi, Darth.
It sounds like Dylan, damn it.
And he is listening
Let me
on
tell you guys something,
I-71.
seriously.
Hit me.
Well, I tell you, Earl actually does a very good gay voice.
Yes, he does.
Convincing gay.
We're still we're still
I've
questioning him.
like 5-minute episodes.
I'm sorry?
I said I've heard him do 5 minutes at a time.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay. 5-minute episodes. That was the end of his sentence.
But no, I mean, I agree with Tony. I know gay guys that they call, the rainbow wearing,
flamers.
They call, actually, the guys I know, they call them poofs. Poofs.
Yeah,
that's an English term.
Because it's like they said,
or puffs, I'm sorry. Puffs is an English term.
They're gay. Maybe they're a little bit effeminate in some ways.
Yeah.
But they don't flaunt it.
Right.
And even there's a large portion of the gay crowd that can't stand this.
The flaming gays.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe Earl wants to defend his honor as the High Darth.
It wasn't you.
Earl.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Earl,
Oh,
we
hi,
believe it
Earl.
wasn't you.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Hi.
Everybody in the
How
car
many
is hi,
people are
Mike.
saying hi, Mike?
All of them.
It's just me. Oh, hi, Mike.
And there's like 7 people in the background saying hi, Mike.
I think he's trying to do the voice, but it doesn't sound like him. It sounds like Dylan.
Oh, hi, Mike.
I feel like we
me,
need.
trust me.
I feel like
I'm
we
the one
need.
that said it. Dylan did the Darth Vader. I did the hi Darth. Oh, hi, Darth.
Well, here. Judge for yourself.
Okay.
Luke, you will listen to some kind of radio show.
That's Earl. That's
Friday
Earl.
night from 8 p.m.
Here, in the background.
SKO Radio.
Wait for it.
Oh, hi, Darth.
Yeah.
That's Dylan.
Actually,
are you hearing it now?
Now that I'm listening, actually with headphones on, I can clearly tell that Darth is Dylan.
Oh, okay. So in headphones, we can tell the difference.
Now, the oh, hi, Darth, it was still, I mean, we were talking over it, but I got to be honest, it kind of sounded like Earl. It's the headset. The headset does it. The headset makes it very clear.
Gives you an opportunity to pay
that's the only
attention to
time.
nothing else.
That's the way I always hear it. Is I always hear it when I play the promo on my breaks, and that is Dylan.
So I think Earl, by us listening to it by itself in headphones, I think you've been recused.
You've been confirmed.
Your gayness has been confirmed. We can now inflect that you are in fact High Darth.
Thank you. I'm so glad now, guys. All right, I'm gonna drive.
Go drive.
Go drive.
Be safe.
Say hi to Cincinnati for us.
That's like the third. He's gonna keep calling us all night too
Right.
while he's driving, and he's gonna say, "Well, I gotta go drive."
Alabama.
When he gets there, is he gonna put a banjo on his knee? That's what I want to know. Is he gonna put a banjo? Does he have a banjo to put on his knee?
I think the Hilljack is going to put Earl on his knee and play a banjo.
Play Earl as a banjo.
Yeah.
I can see that happen.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh, hi, Hilljack.
Oh, hi, Hilljack. Those are some
You
nice.
gotta be careful. Don't turn your back on Hilljack.
Those are some nice strings. I reckon.
I reckon.
I think we need to try to find a gay.
Oh God. I reckon my balls
You
itch.
should have looked. Hey, Earl. My balls itch.
I reckon my balls itch.
I reckon.
Jeebus.
You know what? There you go. Mike's got the gay Hilljack down. I was doing.
Hey
actually,
y'all.
You meant last week I had introduced Drunk Dylan.
Oh God.
We were talking about. Oh, there goes my headset. We were talking about his nose waxing experience. And I said
Why?
that had to be something you. When Earl told me that it was the place he went to serves alcohol, I said, well, there you explained it right there. He was smashed.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way you could tell me anybody does that without copious amounts of alcohol.
Yeah, you get me drunk, you can wax just about any part of me, but
really, I still have that bottle of whiskey at home.
All right.
So
problem is you're going to use wax from Bed Bath & Beyond.
No, I've
Scented.
got like tons of candles at home. I could just melt a few of those. Candle wax. That shit never comes off.
Never comes off.
That will take skin off too.
Kinky.
Yeah, it'll be some fun. I'm drinking soup tonight.
Drinking soup, like chicken soup?
Yes, chicken soup.
Is it for your soul?
Yes. I know it's reference to a book I never read, but still. They say
there's like 80 of them.
I've just looked
chicken
at the pictures.
soup for the
soup
rainbow-covered unicorns.
We have started a tangent, ladies and gentlemen. We will not get off of
We
that.
won't.
I think that's where we lost Joe this week.
And I
think he got trampled by the parade.
I'm going to take right now for the disclaimer. I don't care if you're gay. I really don't. It doesn't bother me one bit.
Right.
But just, this kind of shit just drives me crazy.
It drives him crazy. She drives me crazy. Like no one else.
God, we have problems.
We have many problems. We're going to take a break.
Yes.
It's a little bit early, but my back teeth are starting to float. And I actually want to try to get the track to play on time. And hey, one of these days, I'm going to get this to work here. There we go. You are listening to Some Kind of Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network. We will be right back.
Enjoy your summer while you can, ladies and gentlemen, because the newest version of Some Kind of Radio Show will be upon us before you know it. Coming in August, Mike Haigh and an all-new lineup of the Crazy Crew will be back to bring you fun, entertainment, and discussion like never before. So stay tuned for more information on this groundbreaking rendition of Some Kind of Radio Show, exclusively here on the SKO Radio Network.
The SKO Radio Network have two causes that we hold close to our hearts. They are to help out children and the eradication of cancer. That's why over Labor Day weekend this year, we will be holding a radiothon to support kids crushing cancer. Starting on Friday, August 30th at 8 p.m., Earl McCune, Dylan Thompson, Mike Haigh, and Aaron Kaback will walk into the Debbie McCune Broadcast Center, the SKO Radio Network, and attempt to stay on the air for a full 72 hours in a row. Here's where you come in. If you're a business owner, contact us at 234-706-5857 or office at skoradio.com for hourly pledging opportunities. Once again, that number is 234-706-5857 and the email is office@skoradio.com. If you'd like to donate on a personal level, simply go to skoradio.com and click the donate button on the main page to find out more. Please help us to support this very worthy cause, because no child should have to face cancer alone.
And that was the Christmas effort by the once great Billy Mack. Oh dear me, how are the mighty fallen? I can safely put my hand up my arse and say that is the worst record I've heard this century. Oh, and coincidentally, I believe Billy will be a guest on my friend Mike's show in a few minutes' time. Welcome back, Bill.
So, Billy, welcome back to the airwaves. New Christmas single cover of Love Is All Around.
Except we've changed the word love to Christmas.
Yes, is that an important message to you, Bill?
Not really, Mike. Christmas is a time for people with someone they love in their lives.
And that's not you?
That's not me, Michael. When I was young and successful, I was greedy and foolish, and now I'm left with no one, wrinkled and alone.
Wow. Thanks for that, Bill.
For what?
Well, for actually giving a real answer to a question. Doesn't often happen here at Radio Watford, I can tell you.
Ask me anything you like, I'll tell you the truth.
The best shag you ever had?
Britney Spears.
Wow.
No, only kidding. She was rubbish.
Okay, here's one. How do you think the new record compares to your old classic stuff?
Oh, come on, Mikey. You know as well as I do, the record's crap. But wouldn't it be great if number one this Christmas wasn't some smug teenager, but an old ex-heroin addict searching for a comeback at any price? All those young popsters come Christmas Day, they'll be stretched out naked with a cute bird balancing on their balls. And I'll be stuck in some dingy flat with my manager, Joe, ugliest man in the world, fucking miserable because our fucking gamble didn't pay off. So if you believe in Father Christmas, children, like your Uncle Billy does, buy my festering turd of a record, and particularly enjoy the incredible crassness of the moment when we try to squeeze an extra syllable into the fourth line.
I think you're referring to If You Really Love Christmas.
Come on and let it snow. Ouch.
So here it is one more time, the dark horse for this year's Christmas #1. Christmas is all around. Thank you, Billy. After this, the news. Is the new Prime Minister in trouble already?
Hi there and welcome back. So, Billy, 3 weeks till Christmas. Looks like the real competition is going to be blue.
Yeah, I saw them on the show last week. They weren't very nice about my record.
No, little scamps.
But very, very talented musicians.
Billy, I understand you've got a prize for our competition winners.
Yes, I have, Antoinette. It's a personalized felt tip pen.
Oh, great.
It's brilliant. It even writes on glass. So if you've got a framed picture like, for instance, this one of blue, you can just write on it.
A lot of kids watching, Billy.
Oh yeah. Hi, kids. Here's an important message from your Uncle Bill. Don't buy drugs. Become a pop star and they give you them for free.
And I do believe it's already Christmas Eve all over the UK, and the big question is, who is #1 on the Radio 1 chart show tonight? Is it Blue or the unexpected Christmas sensation from Billy Mack? Well, you might have guessed it, although you may not believe it. It's Billy Mack.
You are the champion!
Hi, Billy.
Hello.
We're live across the nation, and you're #1. How will you be celebrating?
I don't know. Either I could behave like a real rock and roll loser and get drunk with my fat manager, or when I hang up, I'll be flooded by invitations to a large number of glamorous parties.
Let's hope it's the latter. And here it is, #1 from Billy Mack. It's Christmas is all around.
Oh, Jesus, not that crap again!
You're listening to Some Kind of Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network. Call now at 234-200-5110. Again, that's 234-200-5110. Now here's Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
False advertising. There's no Earl McCune.
There's no Earl. We've got no Earl here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Some Kind of Radio Show. I am your host for this evening. Not a permanent replacement, thank God. Aaron the Voice Kaback, alongside Tony the Comedy Killer, and the new and improved Mike Haigh. Yay! Looking like...
With no hat.
With no hat. Looking dapper as ever.
Dapper. I've got a massive amount of hair on my head at the moment.
Like I said, dapper as ever.
Dapper. I need a nickname.
You need a nickname.
You're the voice. He's the comedy killer. I'm just Mike.
Well, I had some suggested nicknames for you, but
we can't go with Magic Mike because I'm bearded and fat.
Well, so was Big Daddy Diesel, but he still made the cut.
Yeah. Boy, that's going back a little ways.
He was in those movies.
Certainly is. I got to meet him one time, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
That must have been a traumatic experience for you.
Tell us the story, John. Story.
Well, I'll tell you the story. My brother was living in Daytona Beach, Florida at the time. So he went to the local mall down there, and we're walking through the mall, and there he is with his son. As my brother I looked at him, I was like, yeah, that's who we think it is. So we're shopping in the same section of the store, and I didn't try to do this on purpose. We're just shopping there, and I was waiting on my mom to check out and stuff. My brother says, "Hi, Kevin, how you doing?" "Well, not too bad, man. How you doing?" All right, we struck up this conversation. My dad's like, "Who the hell's that guy?" He says, "Man, he's big." I said, "Yeah, he's 7 foot. This guy's a professional wrestler." But I'll tell you what, one of the nicest guys I ever met, seriously.
Sure.
They usually are.
And that's the thing. They're either going to be like incredibly nice and very appreciative of the fact that people are paying attention to them, that people actually admire and respect what they do, or they're just going to be a complete butthead.
Right.
And like, go away, leave me alone, you troll.
It's like when I was a kid and, Kmart was still a big thing. And, this is the Mark Price days of the Cavs.
Right.
And I'm shopping at Kmart and I run into Mark Price. And he was my favorite player as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 3-point king, right. So I just went up, Mark Price, blah, 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 freaking out, geeking. He was cool as hell.
Yep.
Absolutely cool.
And you hear stories a lot of, like, especially now, the WWE is huge, of all the wrestlers that are like Triple H and Stephanie. They look like a total asshole and a total bitch on screen.
Right.
They're like the coolest people to meet
Oh,
in
yeah,
person.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Brock Lesnar, though, Brock will tell you off even if he hates people.
Right.
He lives out in the middle of nowhere in Minnesota. Yeah, he lives out in the middle of Minnesota, in the middle of nowhere,
right,
just to avoid
On
people
purpose.
on purpose.
Right.
But you get others, like I met Batista.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell he didn't want to be there meeting people, but he was making the best of it and being friendly.
Oh, yeah.
John Cena, of course, loves meeting people.
Mm-hmm.
That's his thing. And it's just, even like I saw a video of Randy Orton before a WWE Raw taping. He was outside in, street clothes because he was trying to bum a cigarette off somebody because he's a smoker. And he was, these people are like, dude, here. I'll be more than happy to give the Legend Killer a cigarette.
Right.
Can you imagine doing that job with a lung full of nicotine?
Well, and it's for them, they do. And like I at the comedy club here, was a few years ago, Mick Foley went out on a comedy tour.
Yeah.
And I
love how he did the air quotes on comedy tour.
It was more of a storytelling thing, but a lot of it was funny. It was a Friday night, even before I was even a part of this radio show for years.
Right.
And I was out doing something else, but I was just like, okay, well, I want to meet him. And I still had his mask from when he was Mankind.
Right.
And I had it, and I still had it from when I dressed up as him for Halloween one year. And I made sure to have it with me. I went dressed up in my Mankind mask, and I had his book, and he signed my book.
Nice.
And he was just the friendliest guy in the world.
My favorite starstruck story here was it actually comes in two parts. I was reading novels by an author by the name of Les Roberts.
Okay.
Huge here in the Northeast Ohio area because all of his he was actually kind of like Drew Carey. He came up here, but eventually moved to like Atlanta or some weird crap like that. But all of his stories were based in Cleveland. I mean, the main character's office was right on Collision Bend downtown, right off the river. And I loved them. I thought these were great detective stories. I loved every bit of them. And he was doing a book signing for his brand new book. I got there early. I grabbed a copy of his new book. And, I was the second person in line. And I was all like, the only time I ever actually got geeked out. I got a chance to, he actually sat and he talked with me for a little bit because, people in line weren't, it wasn't that long of a line. It was middle of the afternoon on like a Saturday. No big deal. So I talked to him and, we talked about characters and things like that. I was so starstruck. I walked out of the bookstore without paying for the book.
Whoops.
It was a signed copy.
Nice.
And this is the time I was like, this was at Beechwood Place, and I was walking back to my aunt's house in South Euclid. I'm walking down Richmond Road, and I didn't realize until I got halfway down the hill. I'm like, fuck, I didn't pay for the book.
Whoop. Nobody's running after you.
I'm going to keep walking.
Yep.
Let's fast forward about 10, 15 years or so. I'm working for the Big Fruit Stand.
Okay.
And I'm actually working in the store doing troubleshooting. I'm over at one table helping somebody out. And I look down at the list to see who's next. And I saw the name. I'm like, no. And I look at where they put him. And I looked over at the table and I'm like, no. So he was not in my queue. He was in somebody else's queue. And I thought it would be like way too obvious if I'm like, dude, trade me. Let me take care of this guy. What I did is I took the person who was in my queue. I took them and I took her over to his table. So we're all kind of at one table troubleshooting everybody else and messing around with her phone. And I start striking up a conversation with him. It's like, hey, how's the writing coming along? You know, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And, you know, we were talking a bit, and it's like, I don't know if you remember me. You did a book signing maybe about 10 years ago at Beechwood. I'm the one who walked out without paying for the book. I'm like, I wouldn't have known it. It wouldn't have made a difference to me. I already got paid for it.
Yeah.
And after he left, everybody at the table was like, you talked to that guy like he was famous. Who was he? I grabbed one of the laptops. I pulled him up on the Google machine, and I spun it around, and everybody's jaws just dropped. They were like, the fuck? You know, and I'm like, I got to meet Les Roberts twice. You know, and so that was my, you know, that was my big, you know, fangirling moment. I really haven't fangirled on anybody else.
About the only time I ever even came close to doing something like that was when I worked at the mortgage company. They would send people on a rewards trip middle of February out to this resort out in Scottsdale called the Phoenician.
Right.
And when I went to work there, my brother who worked in the Beechwood branch, I was working in Akron. He could no longer, because of some policy changes, originate Ohio loans. You had to get your broker's license. Although we weren't brokering the loans, the company wanted you to have it.
Right.
But he could do it enough out-of-state business to still make good money. He could do Michigan, Indiana loans type of thing. And then he would feed me loans, and I would give him some of the money.
Sure.
So long story short, I made second place because they would have 6 people that would go top 3 in number of loans closed and the top 3 in value.
Right.
And you know, so the girl that was always trailing him all these years that he was going on this trip finally hit top. So she got top unit and top volume.
Okay.
I got top number of loans closed, but because I'm in Ohio, volume was a little low. Whereas the girl that got second place volume was in Minnesota.
Right.
Bigger loans to close. First year we get there, I hear, okay, well, there's always famous people here. Who do we bump into? I brought my brother on the trip with me as my date because he's the one that helped me get there.
Right.
Who do we bump into but Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah.
Oh,
she was an absolute sweetheart. He was kind of a dick at first. He came off just kind of dickish, like I'm bothering them or something.
Right.
And the only thing that could come out of my mouth was I just looked at him and I'm like, so what are they like anyway? They look pretty good. They go for speed or for comfort. What'd you do with them? Motorboat. You play the motorboat. You motorboat, son of a bitch. You'll sail you. Then he cracked a big old smile, shook my hand and everything. And he was just like, you're a fan. I was like, dude, that movie was just hilarious. I'm like, that's on one of my top 5 of favorite movies of all time.
Right.
So he got, he was just real friendly and everything. And, got to talk with him for like 10 or 15 minutes. So that year 1. Year 2, we go there. I get to meet David Spade. He was there with Patrick Warburton and the other guy they were doing the show Rules of Engagement.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're in a fitness center. Here's David Spade, all 5'1", nothing of him, on one of those big exercise balls, just like stretching out. And I walked up to him and I was like, dude, you're funny as hell. Joe Dirt was just hilarious. And I don't want to.
You're my sister. You're my sister.
And I was just like, I don't want to, and I didn't mention anything about Chris Farley. But I was just like, I just wanted to shake your hand, get to say that I met you and everything. And it was just, and it's a pleasure. I didn't know who the other 2 guys were at the time. And I was like, and for shits and giggles, this is the first night we're here. We're here until Monday. We're having a little reception thing at the little outdoor cafe by where you walked in to check into your room. You're more than welcome to stop out and have a drink with me. And I just kind of walked away. Who shows up asking for me about 15 minutes when our reception shows up?
Was David.
David Spade walks
No
in and
shit.
says, "Hey, I'm looking for Tony from the Ohio branch." Dude walks, shakes up my hand, says, "Hey, let's go grab a drink." Stays for about an hour, is real friendly with everybody.
And everybody's jaw dropped.
Everybody's jaw dropped, because I just said, "Well, yeah, I've known him for years."
Yeah.
And he stayed, had a couple of drinks, decided to take off, go back to his room and everything. I get back to the office on Tuesday. What emails going around the country for all the branches?
How the hell do you know David Spade?
How the hell do I know David Spade? And I'm like, oh, ancient Chinese secret, but we've been friends for years, and I just happened to
I
bump
was
into
Chris
him there.
Farley's stunt double.
Yeah, I could have been. I could have been. And so yeah, and this is between those two times of meeting people, and even my brother's like, "How do you walk up to these people and just say hi?" I'm like, "Dude, they're ordinary people
They're
outside of their celebrity status." My brother was off on a trip. He gave me 4 seats to go see a Cavs game. I got to drink bourbon with Kid Rock after the game because we were in back.
I'll tell you what, even if I was drinking, I don't think I could handle drinking with Kid Rock. Fuck that. No.
I walked out.
I would wake up the next morning in Tijuana naked, wearing only a sombrero and a tattoo on my ass that says Kid Rock was here. And I would have no memory of anything else that happened.
The good thing, we were there, and with the 4 seats we got, we were sitting next to Charlie Fry and Kellen Winslow Jr., and we got to go back into the Key Club.
He's having a hard time, isn't he?
Yeah. And we got to go back into the Key Club and eat and drink all the beer we wanted through the game, before halftime. And
I want to see him eat the beer.
Yeah, right.
And so we figured we were going to go back, and they had showed Kid Rock in the Jumbotron. He was courtside, across from the benches, and we were underneath one of the hoops. And they just showed him, and he's in his little derby, waves at everybody, and I just walked up. He's leaning up to get the bar. I walked up, tapped him on the shoulder, drunk as shit. Said, "Yo, Robert Ritchie, why don't we drink ourselves some bourbon? I hear you're a fan of it." He turns around with that shit-eating grin and smiles and says, "Line him up." I'm like, "I'm not a Jim Beam guy. Let's drink some Maker's Mark or Knob Creek." He's like, "I'm a Knob Creek fan. Let's line him up." Had a couple of bourbons with them, and
nice.
And he was just because he's like a people's man,
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and he was great to meet.
I didn't really get a geek moment, but it was kind of a funny moment. I went to, all right, backtrack. One of my favorite Marvel characters has always been the Hulk.
Right.
I've loved the Hulk since I was a kid. So Lou Ferrigno.
Sure.
Well, I got free tickets.
This is a good story.
To Comic-Con.
Yep.
And it just so happened that Lou was going to be there. So I was, all excited. This is going to be the one line that I'm paying for an autograph. And I got to shake his hand. And I realized I don't have the biggest, manliest hands, okay? But I shook his hand and my hand disappeared. And I literally, without thinking, I went, "Holy shit." And he looked at me dead serious and goes, "Hulk smash." And I was like, "That's awesome." But that was it. I mean, it was just my hand completely I have never seen a hand as big as this man's hand. It was gone. My hand was not there. I had a wrist and he was holding on to a wrist.
Yep.
Yeah, Lou's a big dude.
Cool as hell, though. I mean,
oh yeah.
Obviously there was a line. He was trying to get through the line, and you could even tell he was tired. But he took time with everybody,
He's a 2-time Mr. Universe as well.
Right. Cool as hell.
Oh yeah.
The only other time that I laugh at, the Bulls were in town playing the Cavs. This was early 90s, and I had an NBC Sports hat. I bought it at a store somewhere. I didn't, nothing special about it. Just said NBC Sports. I'm walking down the concourse between Tower City and what at the time was Gund Arena. And, there's a crowd of people, lots of people. And so this guy is walking towards me. He looks right at me and says, "Hey, how you doing?" And walks right on by. And it wasn't until after he walked by I realized it was Scottie Pippen. Because I was wearing the NBC Sports hat, he thought it was part of the crew. because I'd imagine that, first of all, he's Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Okay. In a crowd, he stands out.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw him coming. I was like, and the first thing I thought is, that is one tall motherfucker right there. And he stops. He says, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey." And I walked right on by, and I'm like, I didn't look back. I kind of did one of these. I'm like, fuck, that was Scottie Pippen. And he said hi to me like we were pals.
And I just nonchalantly said, "Hey, man, what's up?" And kept walking. He was probably like, "Who the fuck's that guy?"
And we were talking about, you were mentioning how Stephanie and Paul are genuinely nice people in public, but they play absolute heels.
Yeah.
In on the show. When I was a kid, there was an indie promo that played generally just around Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. And their champion was a guy by the name of the Great Wojo. His real name was Greg Wojciechowski. Not really a marketable name. One of the cool things about it was he went to the same high school I was going to at the time. I saw him at a grocery store, and I walked up to him and it said hi, and he went right into character mode. And it was explained to me later, much later, when I went to one of these shows, that because I'd mentioned to one of the to one of the production people that blah blah blah, Great Wojo, so on and so forth, that that was his thing. I mean, he was method.
Yeah,
he was method. He was in character all the time. But if there was ever a need to be a genuine person, he was a genuine person. He just wasn't a genuine person a lot. When he was in public, whenever he was in public, he was method. He was on stage, he was acting, he was trying to promote himself. I was like, okay, well, hindsight being what it is, that makes sense now. But to a kid, it's like, well, he didn't have to be a dick to me. I was just saying hi in a grocery store.
Right.
So, but I didn't get it now, but as I got on, and I'm like, that makes more sense, more and more sense as you go on.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the wrestlers stay in character 24/7. It's like, a guy I used to listen to on the radio got to meet like the Sheik, not the Iron Sheik,
the original
but
Sheik,
the original Sheik, and he was always in character.
He was method too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very much so.
Very method.
Yeah, but you get a lot of these because Vince keeps a lot of his people, a lot of his mid-carders, in order to keep them working and making a decent buck. Not only do they do the TV
this
stuff.
This is another one that is really method.
Yeah.
Okay. He is there's on character. There's on camera Vince. There's boardroom Vince. There's public Vince.
Right.
Okay. On camera Vince. Oh my God! It's like Donald Trump with steroids.
Yeah.
Forget about it. He's like, you're fired. You're fired. You're fired. I hate you. Fuck you. Boardroom Vince. It's business, business, business. I don't care who I'm stepping on. I don't care, who. I don't care if I'm not spitting and shoving. I'm gonna do what I got to do to make money. Bottom line is the bottom line. That's that.
I got bills to pay. I got people to pay.
And much like Stephanie and Paul, around regular people, when he doesn't have to perform, when he's not promoting something. Which again, most of the time he's promoting something, but when he also goes to some of these charity events and things like that where he's sweet as pie.
Oh yeah,
absolutely sweet as pie. But when he has to put on a show, he puts on a show, and he's another one of those absolutely method. And that's the thing you have to understand when you care about the business as much as some of these people do, whatever business it is. I mean, I could be the voice 24/7 if I really, really wanted to. I don't, but I could. And
Bella, go to bed.
Yeah.
Daddy, why are you yelling?
Well, this week she's
Sweet.
Sweet. This week she's nowhere but bed. So
right.
Butt bed. I said butt bed.
Nice.
Moist.
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 John got a moist. John got the moist reward this week. But I'm when there's something that they're that passionate about that they want to promote all the time, they could get really method on it, and they're that way out in public, and they're that way out in public. I mean, we go to places where we're going to do remotes and shows and things like that, and there we're promoting. Okay, well they're expecting to hear the antics between Tony and Aaron and Mike and so on and so forth. They're expecting the voice of the Comedy Killer and
right.
Mike.
Mike.
And Mike.
Mike.
And they're not expecting,
Man they call Mike.
you know, what you would see if you happen to walk by a table with the three of us sitting around eating chicken wings and just, you know, telling stories. And that got quiet all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
got quiet.
That got quiet real
Take
quick.
quiet.
So, you know, there's a thing between, you know, promoting yourself and then just letting go. And a lot of times these guys just let go. They just don't do it in public. So
Right.
that's why they're that way. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about the stunt now that Mike's here. I know it's something that Mike wanted to weigh in on as well. And a few other things. Your
stuff and things.
I'm going to keep talking over the play, hoping that it's going over the air. You are listening
No
to
whammy. No whammy.
You are listening to Some Kind of Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network. We will be right back.
Is Northeast Ohio's #1 choice for insurance solutions. They're proud to offer auto, home, pet, and business insurance, not to mention renter's insurance, RV, boat, and motorcycle insurance as well. They also offer insurance solutions for rental and commercial properties too. The ZM Insurance Group has been insuring amazing businesses and awesome families in Ohio since 2008. They make the insurance process easy and no appointments are necessary. You can follow the ZM Insurance Group on Twitter at ZM Insurance, on Facebook at ZM Insurance Group, and on Instagram at ZM Insurance. Call the ZM Insurance Group today at 330-777-0092. Once again, that's 330-777-0092. We here at the SKO Radio Network have two causes that we hold close to our hearts. They are to help out children and the eradication of cancer. That's why over Labor Day weekend this year, we will be holding a radiothon to support Kids Crushing Cancer. Starting on Friday, August 30th at 8 p.m., Earl McCune, Dylan Thompson, Mike Haigh, and Aaron Kaback will walk into the Devin McCune Broadcast Center, the SKO Radio Network, and attempt to stay on the air for a full 72 hours in a row. Here's where you come in. If you're a business owner, contact us at 234-706-5857 or office at skoradio.com for hourly pledging opportunities. Once again, that number is 234-706-5857 and the email is office at skoradio.com. If you'd like to donate on a personal level, simply go to skoradio.com and click the donate button on the main page to find out more. Please help us to support this very worthy cause, because no child should have to face cancer alone.
No,
Sarah's waiting for you.
partially because I'm not 100% sure when the football games start.
Great. Good. How are you doing there? You
Probably not till the
settling in
September.
fine? Learning how to avoid?
Absolutely.
School year usually doesn't start until the end of August.
Harry?
Sarah, switch off your phone and tell me exactly how long it is that you've been working here.
2 years, 7 months, 3 days, and I suppose, what, 2 hours?
And how long have you been in love with Carl, our enigmatic chief designer?
Do you want to do that? And then in September, I mean, that gives us a month that we can announce.
2 years,
that in
7
September
months,
we'll be
3
moving
days,
to
and I
Saturdays.
suppose an hour and 30 minutes.
So,
As much?
Do you think everybody knows?
Yes.
Do you think Carl knows?
we have
Yes.
5 Fridays in August.
Oh, that is bad news.
Well, I just thought that maybe the time had come to do something about it.
Like what?
Invite him out for a drink, and then after about 20 minutes, casually drop into the conversation the fact that you'd like to marry him and have lots of sex and babies.
You know that?
That was in the last break.
And so does Carl. Think about it, for all our sakes. It's Christmas.
Certainly. Excellent.
Thanks, boss.
Will do. Thanks, boss.
You're listening to Some Kind of Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network. Call now at 234 234-200-5110. Again, that's 234-200-5110. Now here's Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
And here's not Earl McCune and a somewhat less sane crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's that.
Insanity.
Oh, I wanted to play this for you because I got the setup just for you.
Maybe.
What? Oh, I erased the wrong one. Hang on a second. I got to edit it. All right. That live radio, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens.
I made this for
Go
you.
ahead. Go ahead and
Dead
talk about the stunt while I fix what I screwed up.
The big thing.
The big thing.
The marathon.
The marathon. 4 guys, no sleep, lots of caffeine, and whatever sick, twisted things come to our minds. All to raise money for kids fighting cancer. Kids crushing cancer.
Kids annihilating cancer. Kids and cancer up.
So Labor Day weekend, Aaron, Earl, Dylan, and myself will be locked in the studio for what are we going? 72 hours?
72 hours.
72 hours is what we're
3
going
days
for.
Straight.
Either way, it's going to be a record, but we have applied to see if we can get recognized officially by Guinness. And we'll get a little plaque that says, "You guys did a great job, yay."
I love how we'll get a plaque, but we won't get any pints.
Right.
Wrong Guinness.
Wrong Guinness.
Yeah.
Curses. But
Foiled
brilliant. Anyway.
Donkey.
We'll I'm sure we'll have various guests throughout the 72 hours as well. People can call in, text in.
Mm-hmm.
We absolutely hope that anybody listening would be willing to donate, because every single penny that we rake in goes straight to Kids Crushing Cancer. We have no additional operating costs, no additional costs of any kind that we have to recoup before they get the money. Every red cent that comes in goes to these kids. So it's going to be an awesome event. And it's going to be kind of like a exceptionally long Scores episode. I mean, I'm kind of hoping that, you know.
That's even longer than Jerry Lewis did on his telethons.
Right.
And he didn't have to do much of anything.
No.
He'd have performers.
I will say this, you know, for the sake of it being a
He would
fundraiser.
point to the big board and then cry at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
And sing, what was the song he always closed out with?
Oh, God, I never survived that long. Are you kidding me?
I worked it
Yeah, I never
for a
made it.
handful of years. I had
The local call center?
yeah, there was one in Ravenna for, I think, 3 years that we worked out there. Then when they got fewer of them, before it went to like a small channel, then everybody who worked in the small call centers went to Cleveland to this hotel.
Yep.
And I worked in, a couple years with Dick Ottard and Wilma Smith. And
Right. I will say this, for the sake of it being a fundraiser, I do think we're going to tone back just a little bit on the things that we say and the jokes that we make. But it's still going to be a free-for-all.
72 hours. I'm going to set the over-under on 100 even. How many times Earl plays porn beats?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, who wants to take the over and who wants to take the under?
I take the over.
I'm going to take the over.
Well, at least the overnight stuff is when you say the toned down stuff for like the day and the afternoon
Right.
type of thing. But then
I'm gonna-
overnight,
I'm gonna
all
get-
bets are off.
I'm going to get one of those little push button clickers. Every time he cracks open porn beats.
Click,
click,
I'm
click,
gonna
click, click, click.
That's got to be a world record. So we may be able to set 2 world records.
So, should we announce the special guests? Because we haven't done that yet.
We have special guests.
We do.
Outstanding.
Freddie Mercury, Tom Petty, Robin Williams. They're all going to be here.
Yeah.
So send us checks.
Muhammad
So
Ali.
that we can help these kids. And you can hear these great. I'm just kidding. This is false advertising, people. If you don't know, all these people are dead.
I'm sitting here thinking, you've been busy behind my back. What the we got guests
Rod,
already.
George Carlin, Rodney Dangerfield are going to do some skits.
Do you know how long it took me to dig these fuckers up? Literally.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan's going to come by and give a speech.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson's going to do a monologue. Oh, wait, he's not dead.
When you hear the sound of thunder, don't you get too scared. Just grab your thunder buddy and say these magic words. Fuck you, thunder! You can suck my dick. You can't get me thunder because you're just God's farts.
Great.
That's Aaron's response to to our guest list.
So you're thinking we've got guests. Yes, Aaron, I punked you. Ha 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 ha. Just God's farts.
Yeah, I'd be calling and checking on you guys.
You should stop by.
I probably will more than likely
dude,
stop by a
it's
couple
72
times.
hours. You can find an hour.
Bring everybody around to Red Bull.
If you're figuring on stopping by sometime around Saturday or Sunday, get some Vicks Vapor Rub and put it right underneath your nostrils. So that way, whatever funky smell we've obtained over like the last few days will not permeate your.
Because we are going to have to aerate this place afterwards.
Yeah.
I've been around.
Make sure the heel jack doesn't show up.
Oh, Hilljack's probably going to sleep over here.
I've been
man.
I've been around Amish that don't bathe. I've spent my fair for a couple of years spent weeks in the field with people that don't bathe.
Right.
So yeah.
But after Aaron, Earl, Dylan, and myself, 72 hours, this is going to be a quarantine zone.
And since you're not physically exerting yourself, it's not like you're going out and doing physical labor, breaking a sweat, it's not going to be that bad. I get times where, because of what I do for a living, and I walk 5 or 6 miles a day, which is the reason why I can't do the total no carb thing like everybody else is doing.
Right.
There are days I come home and I am so sweating so bad that I can't even stand how bad I smell, just because of the fact that I pour sweat out of me. I sweat breathing when it's warm.
I'm not so much worried about the sweat as the methane that will be lingering in this building.
You got windows open.
Between Earl and I, there will be a green mist hovering ever so gently right around the ceiling area. Because we will create a green fog.
Maybe
my assumption is that within the rules, there's bathroom breaks allowed, blah, blah, blah.
We're going to find out.
The methane is going to be so bad, I'm going to step outside for a cigarette. I'm going to light it, and you're just going to see the mushroom cloud.
Yeah.
4 guys in Akron on a radio station blew up half of the valley tonight at 10.
Here, you know what I get those rules from Guinness. I'm going to be very interested to see what we can and cannot do.
Right.
You cannot leave the room at all. We're going to be pissing in buckets.
Right.
All right. Here's what we'll have to do: is somebody bring in
They get that Spina Hospital.
Can
Stadium Buddy?
Can somebody bring in a power strip? Follow me, like one of those 6-outlet power strips.
Gotcha.
I'll bring in a few of those Febreze things. We'll plug all 3 of them in, and they should last you the weekend.
There we go.
At least it'll keep.
You get a couple of them. You just kind of station them strategically around the area. So it's
our points are limited here.
You get a
we
cross
got that one
Febreze.
open. Yeah.
We are going to have to make damn sure that the AC is operational that week.
Yes.
Because, oh, God, is it going to be...
If we have a sweat box in here...
It's going to be a furnace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being on the second floor.
Right.
Because I don't know if I can take another night of Dylan in his underwear. That last one was... I still wake up with my tears. Sweaty balls.
Thank God we're not bringing in kids who actually have cancer to talk on air.
You'd kill them by the stash.
Because they'd get to that door and they'd go, let me die.
Let me die. I don't want to go in that room.
Yeah. What is wrong with those people?
Don't make me do it.
Don't. I'll be good, Mama. I promise. Don't beat me with the smelly guys. Oh,
but no, it's going to be a fun time. You should listen. You should donate. You should tell your friends to donate. It's all going to a good cause. Tell your friends to listen. Tell your boss to listen. Tell your priest to listen.
Tell your ex to listen.
Tell everybody to listen. Find that homeless guy. Tell him to listen. I mean, seriously, this is going to be a good show, a good cause. It's going to be a lot of fun.
The CIA is already tapping into his hearing aid. He'll be able to listen.
FBI, they already marked their parking spot outside.
Yeah. When are people going to stop naming their Wi-Fi's FBI surveillance van?
I don't know.
Seriously, when do you know that stopped being funny like 5 minutes after it was funny?
Right.
But 20 years later, we're still doing it.
Well, that's because it's still kind of funny to the person who's never come across that before. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's a dumbass joke. You know it's a dumbass joke. But if Tony didn't know, and he sat here right now going, holy shit, guys, I think the FBI's outside, we'd be laughing our ass off.
I've got a feeling that if someone from Bangladesh called Tony saying that they were from tech support and they needed to remote into his computer, he'd do it.
No.
And give him $500.
Oh, hell no.
No,
one of my favorite things working for the fruit stand was I would get that call on an almost daily basis. And these were sweet old people who just got scammed.
Right.
And I had to be the one to tell them, I'm sorry. I hate to be the one to tell you this. This is the thing that's going around. People are doing this because they can get away with it. And they just did. You got bilked.
And it's like I get these same people that call me at least once, if not twice a day, same area code and same first 3 digits of my cell phone number from a different last four, and it's a variety of last fours. And I know it's like one of those fake spoof numbers.
Right.
That it's they're not calling me from that number, but it's just the number that's displaying, trying to tell me I stayed at a resort a couple years ago, blah blah blah. They would go into their spiel, yada yada yada. So finally, one time I snapped on one of them, and I said, "Okay, listen here. Are you listening?" I let them do their spiel, and I said, "Are you listening?" And I got a yes. I was just like, "I have a call log since you're calling my cell phone every day for the last 90 days that you've been calling me about this, and I keep telling you no. I'm on the National Do Not Call Registry, and I've contacted my state's remember it say attorneys general, not attorney generals.
Right.
States attorneys generals or attorneys general. And since I've got a log, and I've told you guys in the past not to call me, they are going to fine you $1,000 per occurrence, and I get a click so fast that you would just not believe, or I'll answer SKO Radio Network. You're live on the air.
I've never thought of doing that.
Yeah, you get them.
Damn it, I should do that.
You know what I've been doing with those? I give the phone to Bella.
Oh, well, that's just pure genius.
Yeah,
But
I don't have a Bella to give my phone to.
No, you are lacking in the Bella department. But
Yeah, not the Bella, but the Bella, yeah.
I mean, I could give it to Piper, and she'd be like, Chip lost potato. And they'd be like, what? And I know it's a cartoon, but they'd be like, what's wrong with this child?
And she would sit there and tell them Pete the Cat stories until their ears bled. And maybe, just maybe, with enough common sense, they would learn to stop fucking calling.
I'm doing the SKO thing, though.
That's great. I like that.
I'm so doing that. I never thought of that.
You're live on the air.
Yeah, and either that or sometimes I'll answer either Arabic or Spanish. And it's
I actually did one like that long time ago. People would call me. I'd go, WLSD Radio, we play the hits.
I think the worst I ever did, I answered one in an Irish accent. That was great. It was a good time.
I cannot pull off the Irish brogue without turning it Scottish after a while. It just kind of slips into Scottish.
See, I'm the vice versa. I can start doing the Scottish, and then it just becomes Irish at some point.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know, like, okay, hola is that's easy for Spanish. Then you answer over the phone, "Marhaba kifa," which is hello, how are you in Arabic.
There you go.
And it's just you get these people and they just don't know what to say because most call centers have Spanish-speaking people.
Right.
They don't have Arabic-speaking people, though.
I want to learn, freaking Norse.
Norse.
And then,
I just want one of them to call, and I'll just pick up the phone and really silently go, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Nope, sorry.
Nope.
Did you stay in a hotel?
I'll tell you one that's worked for me.
What's worked for you, John?
Secret Service.
Secret Service.
You say Secret Service, click.
U.S. Department of Treasury, Department of Secret Service, what can I do for you? Oops.
Exactly.
See, I think, when you go back to the Wi-Fi names, The only, everybody around my house, because I can open up my tablet to look for a Wi-Fi signal. It'll come up with everybody's around me, and they're all kind of boring. But I had one of them. It was pretty fly for a Wi-Fi.
You can always tell who's got what kind. The fun part is you can always tell who's got what kind of internet, whether they've got AT&T, Time Warner, or Wow, their Wi-Fi name.
Right.
They don't change it. It's like, that's the first thing you want to do. You want to change it because those are so easily hackable.
Yeah.
The second one is good God. I see. I live in an apartment building, so I've got pretty good range. And when I was putting together the Roku channel for the station, I looked on my Wi-Fi finder, and I could see everybody's Roku box. And I'm like, how bad would your life be right now if I tapped into your Roku box and just started buying all sorts of shit?
Oh yeah.
Like, here we go. You've just bought 70 hours of the Playboy channel. Good luck explaining that.
Mommy, look.
Good luck explaining that to your husband.
Mommy, is that you?
Because I'm that.
Oh shit.
What's like a lot of people don't know is like usually there's a button you can go push it back on a router, which will bypass, and then if you click Wi-Fi, you could click on somebody without entering their password.
Yep.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know that. My friends, we're at my friends Charlene and Ron when they would have everybody over for WWE pay-per-views before. When the network launched, they would have everybody over. They had the network, and so we'd all kind of potluck and come over. And so the first time we're there, they're showing a WrestleMania, and they're like, well, we've got we've got the best of the best. That's what we got told we would need. So anybody who wants to jump on the Wi-Fi while you're here, and blah blah blah, just let us know. And I walked in back, hit that button, clicked on Wi-Fi, and I was in their Wi-Fi, and they're like, you don't want our password? I'm like, I don't need it. And it saw that I was connected, and I'm like, if you're here, and I showed them. Now they had given me the password for future to connect to it, but they're like, I never knew that. And I'm like, yep. There's a YouTube video on how to hack into people's.
There's all kinds of little tips and tricks that people.
There's 3 videos that I found on YouTube that will show you how to get a Wi-Fi password, how to break into a Wi-Fi, how to find a computer that's on the Wi-Fi, and how to remote into it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, general knowledge.
Right.
Like, here you go. Have fun. Hack.
Yeah, the one I saw.
Be annoying.
The one I saw you had to be at a laptop to where you could go to your C prompt.
Yeah.
Like my tablet, my phone don't have a C prompt capability.
Yes, you have to do this from an actual hard drive. You can't do this there are apps that will give you like a command prompt though.
Okay.
That you can get a command prompt.
Okay.
And you really only need to have some sort of DOS command, ASCII command field.
Right.
Not really so much a hard drive, but it's more effective to be able to do it from a laptop.
Yeah.
More fun that way too.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, you could easily tie into, because like I've got, there's so much crap that's buried into my tablet on my phone, as far as, because people are always like, aren't you worried about being on a Wi-Fi and going on your bank's website and paying your bills? And I'm like, no. I'm like, why should I be?
Right. Some of my favorite videos that I was watching on YouTube are the true computer scientists, the hackers, the geeks like you and I, who get called by the tech support people. And so what they do is they give them a virtual machine to log into, not their own computer, and then backdoor their way into the call center's network. One of them was where they actually got into the trunk of the call center and flooded it, shut down the call center because they couldn't handle the volume, and eventually the call got disconnected because the trunk lines all went dead. Another one where he managed to crash the system drive, the system folder of every single computer that was on the network. So when you delete system 32 and then reboot, it won't boot up. So he deleted system 32 on every computer, made them all boot up. So there's some scammer call center in Bangladesh that can't boot. That's fun. They claim to be technical support, yet don't see these things coming.
Right.
That's it's not so much the maliciousness of it and how far they go to get back at the scammers. It's good that they're getting back at these people because there's really no recourse for some of the folks
This
who've
is going
been
to be
scammed.
an eye for an eye.
Right.
Right.
But what's fun is that you claim to be technical support, yet here you are clearly getting just obliterated and have no clue what's going on.
No clue.
I mean, when somebody's in your computer, in your network, you normally know it right away. And if you don't, then you're not paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, I remember working at this company, and we were an outbound call center. We called people to get them to renew their magazine subscriptions.
Oh God!
And these people were current customers, so it wasn't
Right.
like you're cold calling them. But you did. Okay, you're the field and stream guy. You didn't send your card in to renew your subscription. So we would call you. Well, the mainframe that fed us our calls was called a Melita.
Mm-hmm.
And it would just constantly dish out calls, dish info, and you either have to F1 through F8 to dispose of the call. Either they're dead or disconnected, yada yada. Someone from outside. We were there one night, and I think we were working like an hour. Shut down Melita, and it just wasn't feeding anybody calls. And our bosses there couldn't figure out why. Then they discovered they had gotten hacked. And so whoever hacked in was deleting all these files of these that were supposed to be getting sent. So we're there. We got paid. We got paid for like 3 nights of going in because they kept on claiming because they had a day shift and a night shift of, well, this should be back up. We've got the best people in the world working on it. Then some of the stuff we were getting fed back into for a couple of days, we would call. Every number was disconnected. So we're just sitting there trying to call and either disconnected, not in service. So apparently somebody that we called, we honked off that new computers, hacked back into ours.
Had fun.
And they just went to town on it.
Yeah.
So I sat there for 3 days, for 4 hours, to sit there BSing with people, because everybody either the first day we couldn't call anybody, but they had to sit there. Well, we'd rather pay you a full shift here instead of who knows when it's going to get back up, or
Right.
B, it's feeding us all these disconnected numbers and everything. And mind you, this is mid-90s.
Yep.
This 25 years ago.
Right.
That's when hacking was elegant.
Yeah.
And people knew nothing about computers. Absolutely nothing.
To be able to hack into a big mainframe like that fed us all this stuff. Because I got fired because, somebody had passed on to me that, okay, well, if it's the wrong number, you could change the phone number in there and then set it back in to be recycled.
Yeah.
I got caught because there was this comedy club in Philadelphia, PA called the Funny Bone. You'd call the number, and before it would transfer you to buy tickets or whatever, it would play you like a 1.5-minute skit of the comic that's coming up this weekend.
Right.
So you call, listen to the jokes. Then you just dispose, okay, they're not home, and boom. And it would just constantly feed. So we were doing that. Well, I got caught changing the number to it. And
Right.
then I got shit canned, but.
My favorite number changing story. When I first got home from the Marines, I was kind of like doing the club thing because I was single and
that's what you did back then.
bored
Yeah.
and kind of horny. Now, not everybody that I met was of the highest caliber.
Right.
I was like, I'm kind of enjoying talking to you now, but this is really not going to go anywhere. And I think maybe at that point in time, I had not grown into my assholishness. I was too nice of a guy to say, yeah, no. So what I would do is at the end of the night, when we went to exchange phone numbers, I would give them the phone number to the Domino's Pizza down the street. And this went on for a while. One person actually came back and said, why'd you give me a bogus number? And I'm like, if I have to explain it to you,
It loses all.
and it's like, well, can I have your real number? I'm like, you're persistent, aren't you?
Please tell me you gave him Pizza Hut's number next.
I didn't give him any
Oh,
number.
that would have been amazing.
But the fun part was there was one time I walked into that Domino's to order a pizza, and the manager had come back from back in the office, and I was sitting there ordering my pizza, and he started, he was screaming, "If I ever find out who this fucking Aaron guy is, I'm gonna rip out his dick and make him eat it." Just absolutely going nuts. And the girl ringing me up, she's like, "Sorry about that. What's the name on the order?" I said, "Bob." I don't feel like dick pizza tonight, really. No. So at that point, I started handing out a different number. I don't think it was Pizza Hut, but it was a different number.
That's great.
But yeah,
if I ever find out,
the Domino's guy was not happy with me handing out his number because apparently I did it a lot.
You probably could have gotten away with telling her your name was Aaron.
Yeah.
And just played it off like you heard what he said, and now you're just being a smartass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wasn't smart enough then. I still had sand in my ears from San Diego and North Carolina, so that wasn't going to play off too well.
No.
See, we used to be able to give out like time and temperature.
Oh, there you go.
Or
there was that somebody had created a phone line where you called the number and it would tell, it was a pre-recorded message that said
you were given this number by somebody who's not into you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take the hint and don't follow them home or
Right.
some weird shit like that. We need that again. You know what? I'm gonna change my phone number. I'm gonna keep this phone number though. I'm gonna make that my message.
If I was single, I would totally give out SKO's number for that.
What? And it's just
What's
like
your number? It's 234
5110.
5110.
Well, that's like, they have like Google Phone. You can subscribe to for like $5 a month. It'll give you a number. It'll ring to your cell phone.
Yep.
But it's not your legitimate number. And you can get any kind of number you want. If I want a Los Angeles, California number, that's what they'll assign me. Number changes are always free.
And then put that message up there.
And then,
look, I gave you this number because
I'm not into you.
Just no.
Because I'm not buying what you're selling.
I spent 5 minutes with you, and it was 4.5 minutes too long.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, you could. But yeah, Google Phone exists for that reason. So you can always give her out a fake number, and then she'll call the number back. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you're interested, keep the number. If not, okay, log on to Google Phone and say I need assigned a new number.
Listen, sweetheart, I gave you this number because I talked to you for 5 minutes and got herpes.
Yeah.
So
your herpes were vocal.
No.
Okay? Not just venereal. They were vocal. You transmitted those herpes with your breath.
I
Figure
looked
that
at
one
you
out.
and got syphilis in both my eyes.
Visually transmitted. You're the first visually transmitted disease.
There was
my AIDS got AIDS because of you.
I had to. There was there's a scale of oh my godness that I've developed. We all know what a butterface is,
right?
Yeah.
And we've developed from butterface. We've developed butter body. Good looking up here. Once you get past the neck, forget about it.
Right. Forget.
Okay. You put the two together, you have a double butter.
A double butter.
Okay. When the double butter is really bad,
When you're drunk, does it become a nutter butter?
it does. When the double butter is really bad, I have developed a scale, an even deeper point on the scale called the whole tub of margarine.
Oh.
Now there have been some times I've been driving down the road, and I'll say to my wife, I'm like, "Oh my God, there goes the whole tub of margarine." Sometimes she remembers. Sometimes she's like, "Wait a second. I almost remember where that is on the butter scale. Hang on." I'm like, "Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's all the way at the bottom." There's nothing worse than being the whole tub of margarine. Because that's basically you've hit the low point. Like fleas won't even fuck you.
So what else can we have? If they're just completely plastic, is it? I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, that's the silicone ones. Yeah, I can't believe it's not butter.
Or
If you were Bruce and now you're Caitlin, that's a nutter butter.
That's a nutter butter.
That's peanut butter.
We
That's
need
just a nothing.
we need to market this somehow.
There you go.
SKO scores T-shirt.
That's gonna be the next design. Nutter butter. We're just gonna have no logo. Just it's gonna say Nutter butter. Across the top. We're gonna take another break. We're gonna come up with more ideas on Nutter butters here. You are listening to Some Kind of Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network. We're gonna be right back after these short announcements and another clip from Love Actually. Enjoy.
Enjoy your summer while you can, ladies and gentlemen, because the newest version of Some Kind of Radio Show will be upon us before you know it. Coming in August, Mike Haigh and an all-new lineup of the Crazy Crew will be back to bring you fun, entertainment, and discussion like never before. So stay tuned for more information on this groundbreaking rendition of Some Kind of Radio Show, exclusively here on the SKO Radio Network.
At the SKO Radio Network have two causes that we hold close to our hearts. They are to help out children and the eradication of cancer. That's why over Labor Day weekend this year, we will be holding a radiothon to support kids crushing cancer. Starting on Friday, August 30th at 8 p.m., Earl McCune, Dylan Thompson, Mike Haigh, and Aaron Kaback will walk into the Debbie McCune Broadcast Center, the SKO Radio Network, and attempt to stay on the air for a full 72 hours in a row. Here's where you come in. If you're a business owner, contact us at 234-706-5857 or office at skoradio.com for hourly pledging opportunities. Once again, that number is 234-706-5857 and the email is office@skoradio.com. If you'd like to donate on a personal level, simply go to skoradio.com and click the donate button on the main page to find out more. Please help us to support this very worthy cause, because no child should have to face cancer alone.
Looking for anything in particular, sir?
Yes, that necklace there, how much is it?
It's £270.
All right, I'll have it.
Lovely. Would you like it gift wrapped?
Yes, all right.
Lovely. Let me just pop it in the box. There.
Look, could we be quite quick?
Certainly, sir. Ready in the flashiest of flashes. There.
That's great.
Not quite finished.
Look, actually, I don't need a bag. I'll just put it in my pocket.
No, this isn't a bag, sir.
Really?
This is so much more than a bag.
Could we be quite quick, please?
Prontissimo.
What's that?
It's a cinnamon stick, sir.
Actually, I really can't.
Oh, you won't regret it, sir.
Want to bet?
It is but the work of a moment. Yeah. Almost finished.
Almost finished. What else can there be? You're going to dip it in yogurt, cover it with chocolate buttons.
Oh, no, sir. We're going to pop it in the Christmas box.
But I don't want a Christmas box.
But you said you wanted it gift wrapped.
I did.
This is the final flush.
Can I just pay?
All we need now.
Oh, God.
There's a sprig of holly.
No bloody honey.
But sir,
Leave it, just leave it.
Loitering around the jewellery section, I see.
No, I was just looking
Don't
around.
worry. My expectations are not that high after 13 years of Mr. Oh, but you always love scarves.
You're listening to Some Kind of Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network. Call now at 234-200-5110. Again, that's 234-200-5110. Now here's Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
And here come the smokers on their way back. Now, I tell you, I actually had to throw away my vape mod.
Did you?
It died. I mean, dead. I couldn't even charge it because I had not used it in so long.
Well, that's good.
So I felt like, you know, it was kind of a hefty investment, but I got my use out of it.
So it was kind of like an accomplishment.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I don't need this anymore, and I don't need all these juices anymore. But you know,
weaned yourself off.
Yeah,
it's kind of like me. I feel accomplished when I throw away the can or the bottle.
Yeah. Says the man who just came back from smoking a cigarette. Love that. That's great.
I was speaking of alcoholism.
Says the man drinking a Coors Light. I
Yes.
love that. That's great.
Yes.
You are my very definition of hypocrisy. I love that. It's wonderful. Yeah, you are letting the hair grow out. It's like
I am.
You know, you kind of got a little bit of a tuft there.
I'm purposefully letting it grow out and just seeing what happens. I can get away with it at this job, so why not?
Yeah.
Are we going for the hippie look, or are you just trying to see if you can get your dander to come back?
I'm
Or is that a bit of a personal question?
No, I don't know. I read something that it's best to let the top grow out first.
Yep.
So that's what I'm doing, and it just, of course, means that I have weird stages where my hair does whatever the hell it wants.
Okay.
Which there's a reason I always keep my hair short, because my hair is thick and it does whatever the hell it wants. But I want to see what happens.
And it's like mine on Facebook Live tonight when I looked on I'm like, I see my bald spot creeping bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm like, I just got to start letting my hair grow out then.
Right.
There you go.
The only way to cover it up, it's either that or $50 and buy some Rogaine foam and hope for the best.
You know, I think long term, what I'm hoping for is like the surfer, you know, long, but not like shoulder length long, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what happens.
Now, did you want to take any time and expand on what we have to look forward to in August?
For the new scores?
Yeah. No, I was thinking about your vasectomy, but yeah, we can talk about that too.
I kind of, you know, moved up the timetable on that. I did that last night myself after a few beers.
Oh, the vasectomy. Got it.
No, I mean, it's kind of a work in progress still. We've got a lot of ideas running around. You know, thankfully, Aaron, you know, does not have an issue with me drinking in front of him, but I do respect the fact that he doesn't drink. So I don't know. I'm thinking the beer review might go by the wayside. I mean, you know, John will be a part of the show and he does like beer too, but I'm thinking, you know, the biggest thing that we talked about recently was, you know, food reviews and restaurant reviews, which we can all take part in. You know, it gives us something to do outside of the radio station so that when we come to the show, we're prepared. John kind of, you know, led it in an interesting point when, you know, he brought up maybe we can go to some of these places and get, you know, the manager, the owner to come on the show. Maybe they'll bring, you know, an appetizer that night and we can actually try it right there on the air. Who knows?
There you go.
So I think we're going to definitely go with food reviews versus beer reviews. We might throw in a beer review randomly. But, you know, that's one of the big things. I mean, that's about it. I mean, it's going to be a lot like this show, just random talking, random idiocy, you know, with whatever our version of the segments thrown in as well, you know?
You got to make it your own.
Right. Earl has thrown some ideas at me that, you know, he used to do that I've kind of contemplated on. but I'm not sure. They involve prizes, things like that. But we'll see.
Look, I know we talked about this. I don't want to do any more desk duty. I think that, blowing you to get this job was enough.
Look, we did talk about this, and the prize includes you going to their home. That's all I'm going to say right now, but, you kind of agreed to it.
I hate it when she does that.
I mean, technical support is what we're calling it.
Yeah. Every time I have to clear somebody's cash, I feel like there's not enough mouthwash in the world.
No. And I mean,
back me up on this, John.
Vibrators are getting more and more technical.
John's like, what?
John's like, I don't. I'm not a part of this.
That's exactly what you're talking about. But, if your case is like a doggone garbage pit in your computer. You go in there and you're like, oh, you were looking at that.
I love the fact that he took it literally. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for saving the soul of this show.
Because Aaron was talking about naughtier bits.
I'm talking about naughty bits, and John brings it back to, well, if I find this in your cache, then we have to talk.
Gay midget amputee porn.
I mean, we're here right now. What ideas do you have? Throw them out right now.
Well, I had...
we can try different coffees.
There's that, but quite honestly, coffee is coffee, for God's sake.
Well, yeah, but we can, play it up. Oh, this one's nutty.
Nutty with a fruity note.
Yeah.
With a fruity note that lingers on the tongue.
This one tastes like Venezuela.
This is Costa Rican, goddammit. 10 things I hate about you. obscure movie references.
Yes.
Yeah. An entire segment of obscure movie references. We won't even tell you where they're from. We'll just spout stuff out.
We have mentioned that we're going
I did want to do the breakfast review. I did want to get behind that because there's something that, despite the fact that, my menu is now limited to just about anything that doesn't contain bread.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Hey, look, I belched on the air.
Hi.
You're welcome. Somebody asked me to belch on the air, so there you go. And that is something I was looking forward to. At least reviewing new places, reviewing places I've been to. I could certainly, omelets, steak and eggs, things that, bacon. There's 100 billion different ways to do bacon, and only 3 ways to do it right. So there's definitely a lot of different places to try. Hoping to do it on a weekly basis, with hoping to get everybody involved. But if it's just me, it's just me.
Yes.
And that's fine. New restaurant review,
John's not here to defend himself when I say this, but it is essentially 3 fat guys that like food.
Right.
So I have a feeling we're going to be talking about food a lot.
Yeah. New restaurant review.
Right.
As new places open up, get a chance to get out there. I do definitely want to try to get it out to that new pub that I was talking to you about.
Yeah.
Before when they open, I may hold off until when we start doing our show.
And we've got local places here. We've got for dinner, I'm just going to go ahead and name them. I don't care. But we've got the Bayou right around the corner, which is a Cajun restaurant that opened this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's been packed all the time. We've got Tuesday morning, I think, is a breakfast place.
If I could go back to eating sandwiches, which will probably be like
sandwiches,
which will probably be like years from now. Diamond Deli.
Downtown. Oh yeah.
I worked like right next door for like 3 months to Diamond Deli. They're probably a real reason why I couldn't close my pants anymore. Like, I think it was Tuesday. They didn't have it on Monday. It was fresh on Tuesday. They had a pot roast sandwich. Some good stuff.
Right.
Some good stuff.
Well, you can focus on those maybe once a month, and that can be your cheat for the month.
We talked about my cheat earlier, You weren't here. I said, when I feel comfortable enough to do a cheat day, it's going to be epic.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to start with a stack of pancakes about that thick, covered in maple syrup. It's going to end with a bucket, not just, not a bucket, not a high Darth, but like I'm going to go to Home Depot
and get an orange freaking
and get an
5-gallon bucket.
orange bucket and go to Lube Stop.
Yes.
And fill that with wings.
Right.
Okay. Somewhere in the middle, Tony's going to show me where Timbits are.
Yep.
There's my cheat day. It's going to turn into a cheat month because I'm going to eat so many carbs. I'm going to have to starve myself for at least 2 weeks to catch up.
But you'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll be all right. You're going to be over here going, clear. I need a co-host, damn it. Don't leave.
Give me the adrenaline.
No, you went to, you remember going to Primo's after Deb Services, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was rather impressed by that place.
Oh, that place is amazing.
That corned beef sandwich put me in a coma.
That place is
my
great.
God.
Because I had the pastrami, but I had a bagel with lox too.
Right.
That bagel was incredible. And, and that pastrami, it's just,
oh, yeah.
Haven't had anything.
That's another thing I'm going to miss. I'm already missing.
What, pastrami?
Bagels.
Oh, bagels.
Because, we were talking about, like I said, I'm going to Toledo on July 20 what?
Something or other.
July 20 something or other. I'm going to leave. I'm going to do the Friday show here. It's one of those weeks I'm doing the show. I think it's one of the weeks you're gone.
Yeah.
July 20th is when I leave. July 20th, I'm taking my dad to a Mudheads game. July 23rd is his 75th birthday.
Dude, your diet's fucked that weekend.
I'm telling you. Well, okay. That's why originally I was going to punt on the weekend. We were going to leave Friday and spend 2 days in Toledo.
Right.
Anytime I spend in Toledo, especially just, hey, I'm in Toledo, I've got nothing to do. No. I've got access to Barry Bagels. I got access to Tim Hortons.
Yep.
I got access to Tony Pacos.
Yep.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
You're rolling my ass back. Yeah, I'm basically going to be like a roller ball behind the car, strapped to the back of the car, rolling my way back down the turnpike.
Yeah,
but here's the worst part. I already started when I started this diet. Like one of the first things I did, like 3 days in, I'm like, shit. I need to look at what kind of food they have at the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here I found it. I'm set. I'm okay because my wife, who loves me but is kind of blind in these things, she's like, well, you could just have a hot dog without the bun. It's understand this. I'm at a ballpark. You don't eat a hot dog off the bun at a ballpark. You just don't.
You don't do it.
You load it up with every condiment they have available because they're not cheap.
No.
And
you make a meal out of it.
Yeah, you make a meal out of it.
Now there is a Philly steak place.
Okay.
At Fifth Third Field. So I'm gonna get a Philly cheesesteak. I'm gonna get one of those big, bigger than my dick long ones.
Right.
And I'm just gonna eat the Philly cheesesteak out of the bun.
There you go.
Like I was talking about before, like at Charlie's. And then just, here, Dad, have some bread.
Would now be a good time to tell you that the fundraiser that your wife is helping me with,
there's going to be a shit ton of food. Yes.
Well, we're doing hot dogs, but we're doing
it's the
them
same
right.
fundraiser we did last year.
Yeah, but we're doing hot dogs.
Okay, but see,
we're doing them right. We're doing chili and every
Okay.
damn good topping. It's going to be amazing.
Okay, here's the thing. All right, I can eat a hot dog off the bun there because again, the only sacrilege is at a ballpark. You eat a hot dog, a ballpark hot dog, it has to be a ballpark hot dog.
But you're going to have to, turn down all of the greatness that goes on them.
No.
Is what I'm saying. And as much as you're my brother and I love you, I'm going to sit in front of you and eat 5.
And here's the thing. That's fine. I could take the dog off the bun. I could put the chili on it. Are there beans in the chili?
Yeah.
I can take the beans out of the chili. I can slather it in mustard and ketchup
dude,
and all.
Chili, there's sugar. There's sugar in the ketchup. I mean, you're doing the keto diet, right?
Right. But in moderation. Okay. So here's the thing.
Okay, over under on whether or not Aaron goes in.
Here's the thing. I can have like 3 or 4 of them plain.
Right.
And 1 with some chili on it.
Right.
And
You'll
I'm fine. Okay. And you think I'm doing this alone. Okay. I've got, Boobs McGee.
Yeah.
Who has yelled at me when it's like, hey, make sure you log that because that's a lot of carbs.
Right.
So I've got to, and you, of course, because, I need my co-host, damn it. So.
Yeah, that's why it's like for him, I can do something similar to him, but I can't just totally cut myself down to the carbs that he is.
Right.
Because my job's way more physically
demanding
than what you do.
Right.
I'm out on my feet 5-6 miles a day, constantly everywhere I've got to go. So I can't cut myself totally back. I have cut out the junk food while I'm working, but that's the extent. And then I give myself one cheat day a week.
Right.
And but I just can't totally cut myself down to 25 grams of carbs.
No. I mean, I get it. I absolutely get it. I totally honor and respect what you're doing. I mean, come on. 4 or 5 years ago, I was working out all the time, dieting. I mean, I was in decent shape.
And I still would have kicked your ass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was John.
And I'm not going to go into detail, but my current living situation
made it difficult.
I want to do the keto diet.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do the keto diet in my current
situation. That's why we need the lottery
because
house.
Food will show up in my home.
Crap. I was supposed to buy lottery tickets today.
Yeah.
And by the time we get out,
you had one job. One job.
Well, I had a lot of jobs. That was the one that really mattered the most.
But now, getting back to the original thing, the new scores, we're going to talk a lot about food.
Yep.
We're going to take and continue doing the salutes,
yep.
But we're going to change it up a bit. We're going to do movies, shows, people. I'll give a little teaser right now because I'm not telling you when we're doing it, but we're saluting Anthony Bourdain specifically. You're working on a couple right now. I'll let you decide if you want to spoil them or not.
We've got the very first show, and I did this for us.
Right.
Because I knew this was going to be important to you as it was to me. Our world premiere show, we will be saluting Knight's Tale.
Right.
Because it is arguably the greatest film ever made. I do kind of want to go back in and listen to some of the files, make sure they sound as good as they do. But the first one's going to be Knight's Tale. You wanted to do Anthony Bourdain.
I'm going to do Robin Williams at some point. He's my hero.
And we've got another one in the I'm trying to remember if I have the files put together or not. I've been working a lot over the last few weeks. We're also going to be saluting Big Bang Theory within the first few weeks.
And, we've got John, who's not here right now to, defend himself, but big sports guy. We might be saluting, sports people. I mean, who knows? We're kind of opening it up to a lot more than what the current scores does.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a different show, the same in some ways, but
we will most likely play porn beats a lot
less.
Because it is going to be, it's going to be entertaining and it is going to be fun and it's going to, we're going to tell jokes and we're going to laugh and we're going to have a good time.
Right.
We're going to do it a lot differently than Earl did.
Yes.
And that's what we want to do. And I think that's what Earl wants us to do.
Right. New era.
A new era.
Yeah, it's like, or even salute, like, I watch two things on TV when I'm at home. I either watch Next Generation at 9 o'clock.
Right.
And maybe some other Star Trek after it if I'm not tired. Or I watch PBS and I like to watch the How To channel.
Yeah.
And did you see the thing I had posted today? 'Cause the thing I like about Twitter better than Facebook, on Twitter, whoever's behind it, the account is the real person.
Right.
They're not their publicist. It's them.
Right.
Look at our president.
Right.
I had posted something. The tweet.
Smoking the brisket.
I was like, I like everything I know about barbecue. I've learned from Stephen Reichland. He does 3 different shows. He does Project Smoke about smoking food. He smoked beverages before.
Yeah.
He's somehow do it, and he does Project Fire and Primal Grill, which are basically about barbecuing.
Right.
So I sent him a tweet, figured by being funny. I said, I'm watching you smoke a brisket on Project Smoke, #. I tried smoking a brisket once. I couldn't find papers big enough to roll it in. #barbecue jokes. Who clicks on and likes the tweet?
Right.
Stephen Reichland. So
right.
he got the humor. the guy's got a personality of a sponge when he's on the show. He's all about showing you how to do things. He tries coming out but you can just tell he doesn't have much of a personality when he's doing the show. But apparently he does have a pretty good sense of humor.
Yeah.
And as I posted it up, I'm like, and because I could watch this dude for 8 hours straight, and I'm going to learn something new on every show. I mean, I had a Big Green Egg for a while. I didn't use it as much as I sold it.
Right.
Things are great. I mean, and you don't even have to have a traditional smoker to smoke food.
No, you don't.
I mean, as long as it's heat is here, not under the food, being sucked through, and you got the right wood, you could smoke whatever. I mean, I've seen them smoke a pizza or something before. And I mean, I prefer to do my salmon. I prefer to smoke it instead of actually cooking it, then it don't stick to the grill. So, yeah, salute. I mean, I told Earl, I think like a year and a half ago, I was like, when I got on this whole create kick, I'm like, I was like, well, we'd salute the show. Probably nobody's seen it, but they might get into it. I mean, and it's just like, I watch a show called America's Test Kitchen,
right?
And they make all kinds of different stuff. And my favorite segment is the tasting segment. They put up like 4 different kinds of something. And, you got to pick, and it's like, well, this is the brand that our tasting panel picked. This is the brand our studio audience picked. And it's always helped me to buy stuff. I mean, I buy pancake mix. I'm not going to buy the cheap stuff anymore. Right. I spend the high end and buy this stuff. It's called Bob's Red Mill. They're one of the sponsors. He makes all kinds of grain stuff. Dude, it's incredible. It's not cheap.
But it's worth it.
Treat yourself once in a while. I've bought, I make quinoa.
Right.
Or whatever, and have you ever had quinoa?
I'm trying to. You started talking about pancakes. I'm trying to tune out because I miss pancakes.
I know.
Well, you bring up a good point. I mean, there's a YouTube show called Hot Ones. I don't know if you've ever caught it, but
I'm not allowed to watch those in front of the girl.
What this guy does is he'll bring on someone famous, and it's like 10 or 12 hot wings, and each of them has a different sauce that gets hotter on whatever that scale is called.
The Scoville scale.
Right. And he asks them true and legitimate questions.
Yeah.
But it gets funnier because the hotter it gets, he's still asking them legitimate questions and they can't answer. And there's one episode he got Gordon Ramsay on there.
Ooh, I would have loved to see that.
And I think it was like one of the last 2 wings. My father-in-law were laughing so hard because we lost count when Gordon Ramsay said shit for the 47th time. We lost count at 47 because he's sitting there and the guy's like, your restaurant, blah, blah, blah. And the whole time Gordon Ramsay's going, shit, shit, shit. I mean, it was so hot. And it's a fun, funny show to watch. So saluting things like that ties right into the food. There's all kinds of things we can do.
Yeah,
I wanted to share a tweet from that I put out back in 2015.
Okay.
A little dated, but you were talking about claims to fame, if you will. I tweeted, just watched Heyman Hustle promo from Raw. Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
1, still have chills. Okay, the preface is he was pimping Brock Lesnar, and he said something. He actually went and said, "In nomine Patri Filii Spiritus Sancti." And I was like, okay, first of all, chills. Second, where does a nice Jew from Brooklyn learn to pray in Latin? Paul Heyman replies, I have no idea where a Jew from Brooklyn would learn to pray in Latin. I'm from the Bronx. Hashtag Bronx.
Yeah.
That got retweeted a total of 848 times.
Because people follow Paul Heyman and retweet.
Yeah, they follow Paul. They don't follow me.
Yeah.
Fuck no. But they follow Paul Heyman, and it got retweeted, and I was like, I'm viral. For like 5 minutes, I was viral. But, so I felt kind of big when that you were mentioning your tweet, and I just wanted to share that. That was my Twitter moment.
I mean, and that's the good thing about being on Twitter is you're always
you're actually talking to
them. Like,
right.
Like when I watch final NCAA tournament coverage, I tweeted Kenny the Jet and Clark Kellogg.
Right.
And, they both, because I was like, where's Sir Charles? Because Sir Charles Barkley doesn't have a Twitter.
Right.
And I was like, where's Sir Charles at? The fact he's not there is terrible.
Terrible.
And they were like, "Oh,
Terrible.
he'll be joining us a little later because." But it was.
You know what we should try to do on the new scores, and you can't. This is a new scores idea.
Mm-hmm.
Earl cannot steal this. New scores idea. See if we can get Trump to tweet us back.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, that'd be fantastic.
New scores idea.
I'm gonna work on that for the premiere. I'm gonna try to tweet him like during the week before.
Well, we're gonna have to create a new scores Twitter.
Okay.
We got to do it and see if we can get Trump to tweet us back.
Okay.
Break time?
We're gonna take a break. We come back. I'm gonna tell dad jokes.
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes. You are listening to some kind of radio show here on the SKO Radio Network.
You're listening to SKO Radio Network.
And we are not going to listen to that one because it went all the way back to the end.
Rock and roll. And opinions expressed on the SKO
No,
Radio Network.
we want this one. Let's see if it plays. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We have had technical difficulties with our system for most of the evening. We will be right back after these important announcements once they begin airing.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Possibly. It could happen.
It could happen. There we go. It's playing the right one. We'll be right back. Enjoy the clips.
Insurance Group is Northeast Ohio's #1 choice for insurance solutions. They're proud to offer auto, life, home, pet, and business insurance, not to mention renter's insurance, RV, boat, and motorcycle insurance as well. They also offer insurance solutions for rental and commercial properties too. The ZM Insurance Group has been insuring amazing businesses and awesome families in Ohio since 2008. They make the insurance process easy and no appointments are necessary. You can follow the ZM Insurance Group on Twitter at ZM Insurance, on Facebook at ZM Insurance Group, and on Instagram at ZM Insurance. Call the ZM Insurance Group today at 330-777-0092. Once again, that's 330-777-0092. We here at the SKO Radio Network have two causes that we hold close to our hearts. They are to help out children and the eradication of cancer. That's why over Labor Day weekend this year, we will be holding a radiothon to support Kids Crushing Cancer. Starting on Friday, August 30th at 8 p.m., Earl McCune, Dylan Thompson, Mike Haigh, and Aaron Kaback will walk into the Debbie McCune Broadcast Center, the SKO Radio Network, and attempt to stay on the air for a full 72 hours in a row. Here's where you come in. If you're a business owner, contact us at 234-706-5857 or office at skoradio.com for hourly pledging opportunities. Once again, that number is 234-706-5857 and the email is office at skoradio.com. If you'd like to donate on a personal level, simply go to skoradio.com and click the donate button on the main page to find out more. Please help us to support this very worthy cause, because no child should have to face cancer alone.
It's great scotch.
Alan, I'll be going then.
Natalie, I hope to see much more of you as our two great countries work toward a better future.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Peter.
Mr. President, has it been a good visit?
Very satisfactory indeed. We got what we came for, and our special relationship is still very special.
Prime Minister?
I love that word, relationship. Covers all manner of sins, doesn't it? I fear that this has become a bad relationship. A relationship based on the president taking exactly what he wants and casually ignoring all those things that really matter to Britain. We may be a small country, but we're a great one too. Country of Shakespeare, Churchill, the Beatles, Sean Connery, Harry Potter, David Beckham's right foot, David Beckham's left foot, come to that. And a friend who bullies us is no longer a friend. And since bullies only respond to strength, from now onward, I will be prepared to be much stronger. And the president should be prepared for that.
You're listening to Some Kind of Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network. Call now at 234-200-5110. Again, that's 234-200-5110. Now here's Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us here on this Friday evening. It is I, Aaron, the voice Kaback, giving you the voice of reason, the voice of knowledge, the voice of truth, the voice of, well, you know, just about everything else. Let's see what we got here. As I mentioned here, I'm going to jump into the dad jokes. Got to crack open the Twitter again because that's where I keep them all. And I'm killing time because, let's face it, I was so prepared. The smokers are still smoking.
Actually, I got a good one for you.
Hit me.
Aaron.
Go for it.
All right. We were talking about Trump before we went to the break.
Yes.
Well, something popped across my news said that they made a deal with Mexico.
Okay, good.
So all you Midwest farmers can be happy now.
All right. So that one was when we were working on there trying to figure out where we were on that. We're going to be Mexico's going to be buying up stuff from us, and we don't have to tariff them to death. So yay us.
Yay us.
Yay us. The smokers are back. We can go on with the show. Yep. Dad jokes. Dad jokes. Wow, that is a very big picture of me. All right. I've just finished interviewing a young man for a job at my workplace. I asked, can you perform under pressure? He says, I'm not sure, but I do an amazing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, jeez.
I know why you picked that one first.
That actually was the first one on the list. I kid you not. Sad news. My obese parrot died today. But it's a huge weight off my shoulders.
Oh, nice.
My friend couldn't afford his water bill. So I sent him a get well soon card.
Yeah.
A friend of mine tries to impress girls by drawing realistic pictures of the Ford F-150. He's a pickup artist. Did anyone else see the joke I posted recently about my spine? It was about a week back. What do you call the smartest mountain? Cleverest.
Cleverest.
There you go. Our maintenance man lost his legs on the job. Now he's just a handyman. I saw my wife using her phone to record her getting a haircut. I think she plans to look at the highlights later. I'm going to have my spine removed. All it does is hold me back. Tiny kangaroo dance sport. What did the nurse say when she found a rectal thermometer in her pocket?
Do I want to know?
Some asshole has my pen.
Ah.
My neighbor rang our doorbell at 3 a.m. Can you believe it? Luckily, I was still up playing the drums. So that worked out. People say I look better with glasses, but I just can't see it. Why do bees have sticky hair? Because they use honeycombs. My neighbor with big boobs has been gardening topless all day. I just wish his wife would do the same.
All right.
Can kind of relate to that.
You're doing dad jokes. I'm going to do dirty jokes.
Uh-oh, here come the dirty jokes.
What does the sign on an out-of-business brothel say? Beat it, we're closed.
Ah! There you go.
We'll take turns.
Take turns, okay. What's the difference between a politician and a flying pig? The F.
Why was the guitar teacher arrested for fingering a minor?
Oh, good one. I've just written a song about a tortilla. Well, it's more of a rap, actually.
Why does Santa Claus have such a big sack? He only comes once a year.
Yeah.
And even at that, it's down a chimney.
Yeah.
A man was caught stealing from a supermarket today while balanced on the shoulders of two vampires. He was charged with shoplifting on 2 counts.
What's the difference between a hooker and a drug dealer? A hooker can wash her crack and resell it.
Oh. And we wish they would sometimes.
Yeah.
After that 72 hours, you guys might need that.
Yeah.
What do old people win for aging? Atrophy. Or a trophy.
What do the mafia and pussies have in common? One slip of the tongue and you're in deep shit.
I had anticipated something about sleeping with the fishes. I really did. My wife says I'm addicted to brake fluid.
But I can stop anytime I want.
Joke's on her. I could stop whenever I want.
Why does Dr. Pepper come in a bottle? Because his wife died.
Say because the can hurts more. I have a pen that can write underwater. Amazing thing, it can write other words too.
Go ahead, because I got to skip a couple. That was just, I can't even read this one on air.
Wow, we've found his line.
Yeah, it's...
Before my surgery, my anesthesiast offered to knock me out with gas or a boat paddle. It's an either or situation.
What do you call a lesbian dinosaur?
My mother?
Lick-a-lot-of-puss.
I'm glad my parents don't listen to the show. We all know Albert Einstein was a genius, but his brother Frank was a monster.
What do a penis and a Rubik's Cube have in common?
The more you play with it, the harder it gets.
Yep.
Yep. Here we go. I got one for you.
Hit me.
Everywhere is walking distance if you have the time.
There you go. That's philosophical.
Yeah, right.
What creature is smarter than the talking parrot? A spelling bee.
Oh.
Did you see the spelling? I went to
8-way winner.
8-way winner because they ran out of words to spell.
Okay.
I think that's ridiculous.
What was ridiculous is I was at Jersey Mike's getting subs, and they had that on ESPN,
right,
with analysts and color commentation.
Yep.
It's the fucking spelling bee.
Yep.
Howard spelling bee.
Why do we need color commentators and analysts at the spelling bee?
I don't know.
How is a girlfriend like a laxative? They both irritate the shit out of you.
There you go.
Here we go. I went to a restaurant that serves breakfast anytime, so I ordered French toast during Renaissance.
That's good.
See, Tony, he's all right up your alley.
Yeah.
I was arrested for stealing cooking utensils, but it was worth the whisk.
What's the difference between your wife and your job? After 5 years, your job will still suck.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Last night I stayed up late playing poker with tarot cards. I got a full house and 4 people died.
Yep, there you go. My housemates are convinced our house is haunted. I've lived here for 274 years and not noticed anything strange.
Why did God give men penises? So they'd have at least one way to shut a woman up.
Oh!
You know, I was walking down the street wearing glasses when the prescription ran out.
Whoops. Then you were walking into walls. Helpful advice if you're ever attacked by a group of clowns, go for the juggler.
What's the difference between anal and oral sex? Oral sex makes your day. Anal makes your whole week.
Makes your whole week, yeah.
Here we go. You know, there's a fine line between fishing and just standing on the shore like an idiot.
Did you hear about the bread factory that burned down? The business is toast.
What's the difference between a pickpocket and a peeping Tom? One snatches your watch, the other watches your snatch.
You know, I intend to live forever. So far, so good.
So far, so good. I just saw 2 policemen chasing a man who stole a board game of very little value. It was a really trivial pursuit.
How is life like a penis?
You never know what you're going to get.
Your girlfriend makes it hard.
Yeah.
Woman bashing.
Woman bashing. What's the fastest liquid in the world? Milk. It's past your eyes before you see it. Past your eyes. I always feel like I have to explain them even if I don't have to explain
right.
them.
All those who believe in psychokinesis, raise my hand.
What do you call a virgin lying on a waterbed? A cherry float.
There you go. What's the longest word in the dictionary? Smiles. Because there's a mile between 2 S's.
Know what a 6.9 is?
69 interrupted by a period.
Another good thing screwed up by a period.
My friend Jay had twin girls recently, and he wanted to name them after him. So I suggested K and L.
You know, I love to go shopping. I love to freak out salespeople. They ask me if they can help me, and I say, have you got anything I like? Then they ask me what size I need, and I say, extra medium.
Extra medium. So plain, it's plain. And last but not least, for the dad jokes at least. Wow. I like how I said that. I saw my friend sweep a girl off her feet. He was a very aggressive janitor.
Dirty dad joke. What do you call a herd of cows masturbating? Beef stroganoff.
Beef stroganoff. Beefy.
Dead air.
Dead air. Tony's still looking.
I've moved on.
Mike has moved on.
I just too many. I can't even.
Okay, last one. I went to a 7-Eleven and asked for a 2x4 and a box of 3x5s. The clerk said 10-4.
There you go. I did want to check something out since we're doing this and not cuddled by the TV. Last week we were watching golf because we had the tribe game on. We were watching this golf program where middle-aged people are teaching you how to play golf.
Yeah.
And there was this one girl who was playing golf in skinny jeans. I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, thank you for the eye candy.
Right.
But why? Not so much why, but how?
Yeah.
Because she can, and don't you judge her for what she wears.
No,
because, oh my God, it's just, yeah.
Okay, that's like doing car maintenance in skinny jeans. Skinny jeans are not is the type of apparel that you just don't move around in.
They're not skinny jeans.
You're going for it, but you can't quite get there because you know I've made my point.
I know.
For those of you that care, Toronto is in fact winning with 5.5 minutes left in the game, 93-81. Wow.
So we could have Canadian NBA champions this year.
I would love that.
You and about 99% of America.
I'm sick and tired of Golden State. Not that I'm a Cavs fan, because I just don't care about basketball at all. It's just, Golden State is kind of one run roughshod as everybody. Cleveland beat the Yankees 5-2.
And the Braves beat the Marlins 7-1. Of course, everybody beats the Marlins.
I was going to say, it is the Marlins.
Yeah.
So
I'm just happy to win because we only won 1 out of 3 against the Pirates.
Yeah.
The Pirates have our number for some reason. Because every year when I would go to Pittsburgh to see them, we usually lose. And of course, I've never seen the Braves win in person.
Right.
Because, like this year when me and Earl went up to see the game, they lost game 1 of the doubleheader. They won the second game, and they won the third. They won the Sunday game convincingly.
Right. And you didn't get to see those.
You didn't get to see those.
And
they
want you to be a fan, but they want you to be a fan from afar.
Yeah. Well, here's a funny thing. My buddy Paul moved to South Carolina years ago. Down in South Carolina, obviously the big team for everybody is the Braves because they're the closest pro baseball team.
Right.
And him being a Braves fan, it's good for him. And I said, hey, knowing you're making good money, and between you and Trish, you're the only one that brings money. She gets SSI, but he brings the majority of the money in the household. Let her know. I was like, I want to sell all my Jason Hayward jerseys.
Okay.
And I didn't tell him why. I was just like, I probably paid about $50 a piece for them. I take care of everything. I'll sell you all 4 for $100. No, not unless they're like a modern player. I'm like, I would not be. If they were a modern player, I would be selling them that cheap.
Right.
Because I found a site. I had found a seller on eBay who gets like modern jerseys, and I can buy 4 of them for $200. I can buy 4 modern like Ronald Acuna or Freddie Freeman jerseys, and that's what I wanted to do. Sell my old ones for $100, kick in another $100, buy 4, and get all 4 2X, because 3 of mine are extra large, and then 1 of them's a 2X.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you just tell Trish you're buying them. You're the one that brings in the money. It's $100. What do you do with your money? You guys live too far away to do anything. You're 45 minutes from Myrtle Beach. What the hell do you guys do with your money? Well, we sit around a bonfire and drink, and I'm like, and you got money. I know what you make an hour at work. So I keep getting on him because he'll always text me, man, Freeman went yard tonight. Man, Camargo went yard tonight. Acuna hit a grand slam and 2 solo home runs tonight. He'll always text me that kind of crap. I'm like, okay, well, when are you sending me my $100 for these jerseys? I'm like, I'll ship them to you free.
Right.
And all that, and I think he knows why I want to part ways with them. But
if he's texting you like that, he does.
Yeah.
He absolutely does all day.
Like, I need to find somebody else I know that's a Braves fan that wants I have listed on eBay, but people will spend $100 a jersey to buy a player that's currently playing.
Right.
I still wear my Hayward jerseys out when I go see the Braves.
Right.
Who cares? They're authentics.
I've always said that if I ever get an Indians jersey with a player on it, it's going to be Rick Vaughn. Period.
Right.
Paragraph.
99, right?
Period. Paragraph. End of story. It's going to be Wild Thing.
Yeah, and they make a Vaughn jersey, don't they?
You have to get it special made. The team site will not do it.
Yeah.
The logo is no longer used.
Right. And you got to go to some places like where they do specialty uniforms.
Yeah.
So and that kind of jacks up the price. So it's not something I like really have to run out and get. I've always said that if I ever do get one, it's going to be Rick Vaughn.
Rick Vaughn, yeah, understandable.
You got to,
because you've got in the modern baseball era, players come, players go. I mean, Lindor will be gone, Kipnis will be gone, Bauer will be gone. They'll all be gone. Rick Vaughn's going to be in our hearts forever.
Of course,
right?
Absolutely.
Well, that was like you saw the Bobby Boucher jersey I got.
Right.
I bought that off of eBay. There was a seller, and I think he's just putting them together, but he has everything authentic. The only thing that it has on it that the jersey that he wore in the movie doesn't have on it, it says the Water Boy across the chest.
Right.
But I get so many compliments over that jersey.
Was that wasn't even though that wasn't the legitimate college though. The South Central Louisiana
Coastal
State College. Somewhere
it wasn't legitimate, but
right.
It was the same jersey he wore. Everything on it was legit.
Right.
Logos and everything. But the only thing is it says the Water Boy on here, And the same seller, I could get a Forrest Gump Crimson Tide jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I could get a Polk High Al Bundy jersey. They make all these different from like Varsity Blues and Friday Night Lights and all that. And Willie Beeman from like Any Given Sunday.
I had forgotten until he just reminded me that Al Bundy went to Polk High.
Yep.
And they have all these football jerseys from the various movies that I could get. And the one I've been trying to find from a seller that's in the U.S. is a Shane Falco jersey. You know the movie, right?
The Replacements.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Keanu Reeves.
Yep.
There you go.
That's the one I originally wanted when I was trying to look on eBay for it. But all the sellers were either in China or Hong Kong or something like that. And I don't want to buy it from overseas.
There you go. Because then you have to pay the tariffs.
Well, that crap's garbage. It falls apart. But if I could get something from a U.S. seller, even if it's $35-40, I will buy a Falco jersey for the Washington Generals.
For all we know, though, the Chinese have bought it from a U.S. seller. They have it now. They're selling it back to another private user.
Could, but
you don't know. So it could go either way.
Could go either way. But
yeah, you're right. I mean,
I trust
manufactured in China usually means it's an iPhone. Is my euphemism for.
I just want Blue Mountain State jersey.
From
Blue Mountain State.
Okay.
You've never seen that show?
No.
Oh God. Blue Mountain State. I don't even know if it's on Netflix anymore, but the raunchiest college football show you'll ever watch.
Sounds like it's right up my alley.
Absolutely hilarious.
Which is why it's on Netflix.
I mean, all I can say is there's an entire episode where, because they think it's giving them luck, the entire team shares a pocket pussy and they all get syphilis. So, yeah, it's that kind of show.
See, now I was going to preface it, that's why it's on Netflix, because HBO, the network that literally gives you tits and ass on a recurring basis, said no.
Yep.
Now we know why. This is like that's like Trey Parker level writing.
But there's no tits and ass.
No.
I mean, there's hints, but
that's just
it's an innuendo, but that's about it.
That's just we're just gonna gross you out as much as we can.
Right.
Because it was like when I was younger growing up, we always had Skinamax.
Yes.
Cinemax After Midnight was full blown.
Oh, HBO After Dark.
Yeah, well that too. Taxi Cab Confessions.
Oh, the Bunny House.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Because I remember growing up, and my mom would always be like, "Well, we got HBO just because I don't like what Cinemax shows overnight." Well, we would get the free previews like 4 times a year, and
we got HBO because we don't like what Cinemax shows overnight. Oh, if you don't like what Cinemax shows overnight,
well, my mom didn't.
Here, Mom, hold my beer.
Right.
And then it's like you sit there and watch the stuff that's on overnight. Then I think the best 2 years of television I had was when I moved into my house. The guy had left a dish up there, or it was a dish, because apparently his buddy worked for DirecTV,
right?
And was getting all this stuff, and he could burn everything in where you were getting free everything. Then the hell with watching Skinamax. I mean, I had this 10 channel. I had stuff that made Hustler look Christian,
right?
And I'm just like,
fuck me in the ass if you love Jesus.
Yeah. And some of the stuff
confess to me your sins, you dirty, dirty whore.
And some of the stuff that they just showed was like, I didn't know they could get away with showing it even on pay-per-view.
I've been stealing. Preach it, brother. I've been lying. Amen. I fucked a goat. Oh, dear Lord.
Daddy.
I think that was a Rodney Carrington joke, like his very first, album that he released.
Yeah.
He's talking about a revival, and he goes, there's some things you just can't admit to. You can tell us all your sins. I've been lying. Preach it, brother. I fucked a goat. Oh, dear Lord.
Daddy. I saw this stand up here. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Our last break of the night. Stay tuned. This is Some Kind of Radio Show. You're listening to the SKO Radio Network. We will be right back.
Enjoy your summer while you can, ladies and gentlemen, because the newest version of Some Kind of Radio Show will be upon us before you know it. Coming in August, Mike Haigh and an all-new lineup of the Crazy Crew will be back to bring you fun, entertainment, and discussion like never before. So stay tuned for more information on this groundbreaking rendition of Some Kind of Radio Show, exclusively here on the SKO Radio Network.
At the SKO Radio Network, have two causes that we hold close to our hearts. They are to help out children and the eradication of cancer. That's why, over Labor Day weekend this year, we will be holding a radiothon to support kids crushing cancer. Starting on Friday, August 30th at 8 p.m., Earl McCune, Dylan Thompson, Mike Haigh, and Aaron Kaback will walk into the Debbie McCune Broadcast Center, the SKO Radio Network, and attempt to stay on the air for a full 72 hours in a row. Here's where you come in. If you're a business owner, contact us at 234-706-5857 or office at skoradio.com for hourly pledging opportunities. Once again, that number is 234-706-5857, and the email is office@skoradio.com. If you'd like to donate on a personal level, simply go to skoradio.com and click the donate button on the main page to find out more. Please help us to support this very worthy cause, because no child should have to face cancer alone.
State business in the car.
Lovely.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll try, everybody.
How far is this place?
Just around the corner.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say, thank you for the Christmas card.
You're welcome. Look, I'm so sorry about that day. I mean, I came into the room and he synced towards me and there was a fire and he's the President of the United States and nothing happened, I promise. And I just felt like such a fool because I think about you all the time, actually. And I think you're the man that I really love.
Oh, wow. That really was just around the corner. Oh! Well, look, I think I'd better not come in, you know. Last thing anyone wants is some sleazy politician stealing the kids' thunder.
No, please come. It'll be great.
No, I better not. But I will be very sorry to drive away from you.
Just give me 1 second. Come on in, we can watch from backstage.
Okay, Terry, I won't be long. Look, this has to be a very secret visit, okay?
Don't worry, this is my school, and I'm my way around. Come on.
She already. Oh, David!
Oh, how are you? Hi, guys. Hey. You all right?
What the hell are you doing here?
Well,
I always tell your secretary that these things are going on, but it never occurred to me you'd actually turn up.
Well, I thought it was about time I did. I just didn't want anyone to see, so I'm going to hide myself somewhere and watch the show. Good luck, Daisy. Good luck, Bernie.
I have to tell you, I've never been gladder to see my stupid big brother. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, now, we haven't been introduced.
Oh, right. Well, this is Gavin.
Oh, hello, Gavin. Sorry.
My copper. And this is Natalie, who's my catering manager.
Oh.
Hi.
Catering manager, what? He keeps his hands off you. 20 years ago, you'd have been just his type.
I'll be very careful. Don't try something, sir, just because it's Christmas.
No, seriously. Come on, show time, quickly. Look, see you after.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
All right.
Come on.
Right.
You're listening to Some Kind of Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network. Call now at 234-200-5110. Again, that's 234-200-5110. Now here's Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
This is Earl McCune, and you're listening to Some Kind of Radio Show. Where I just took a shit in the studio chair.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting fired tomorrow.
No.
No, he's going to wait.
It's actually pretty good.
He's going to wait till he comes back.
You do the firing.
I'm going to fire myself. All right, he's going to say, Aaron, I need you to fire yourself.
Yep.
That's all right. Didn't you have me firing? Oh, yeah, you did have me firing somebody else.
I had you firing yourself.
You had me firing myself again. That's right.
I'm fired.
I'm fired. It's like one long vowel sound with F in front of it. There's no R and there's no D.
The best part, I think we fire each other all the time.
I know Dylan fires me like with every other sentence.
Right.
You know.
It's what we do.
And I'm not sure. I don't think anybody's fired Earl yet.
No.
But he ran off to Alabama.
Debbie used to fire him all the time.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think we kind of avoid it now just because.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I think.
She also pressed with a cuss word or two, too.
Right.
Here's the thing. I'm not certain before she left us that she managed to hire him back. I think he just kind of walked back in and said, well, no one else is going to run this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
Better be me.
I don't work here, but no one else is, so I better start doing some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Speaking of SKO.
Speaking of SKO.
Any other announcements we need to knock out in the last half hour?
Let's see. We've talked about the stunt.
Yeah.
We've talked about the new scores.
Yeah.
Kids
show.
Kid show.
It's going to be on hiatus for about a month.
Okay.
Lori is in Alabama. She's on her way right now.
Yep.
So we're going to be holding off until she gets back.
Mm-hmm.
And when she gets back, we're talking about the kids show doing a YouTube channel as well.
Okay.
Because the last little video they did got, granted, not a lot still, but 84 views compared to their normal 4.
There you go.
So we had a lot of fun with it. We did it at my house, and even though Lori filmed it and we were all sideways, it was a blast.
Yeah.
So we're talking about doing a YouTube channel along with the radio show, and kids are looking forward to it.
Tomorrow morning, Cinder Block Sports, 9 to 11.
Jen O'Donnell.
We will have, we are scheduled to have Mary Kay Cabot here in studio. She was supposed to be in last week.
I thought you were going to say Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Yeah.
Or Mary Kay Letourneau or something.
No. I'll take Elizabeth.
Yeah.
But the twins look like they weigh like 50 pounds combined.
Right.
Probably not.
Or Jodie Sweetin, the one that played the middle child.
Yeah.
She got.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back on that there.
But
she got large.
She
up top.
got bucks. Yeah, she was a waitress in the first Avengers movie.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
she managed
so.
to get a small cameo role in the first Avengers movie.
The other one, little Avengers trivia. I think it was the little girl from maybe Family Ties.
Tina Yothers.
I think maybe whoever she was in one of those shows as like the little girl, little redheaded kid.
I think you're talking about the even younger one that came in the later episodes.
Okay.
She made a cameo in the Avengers, and the only reason I know that is because I saw her and I was like, 3 days. Who the fuck is that? I know that person, and I searched and searched and searched. I was like, holy shit!
Finally, the Google machine gave up the
Right.
info.
It took a long time.
So as I was mentioning, Mary Kay Cabot from the Plain Dealer will be is scheduled to join us. So we'll be talking some Browns. We'll be talking mini camp. We'll be talking the dynamics between Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr. I know that we'll also be bringing up. I know the collective bargaining agreement is set to expire the end of the 2020 season.
Yep.
So we'll talk the ramifications of that as well. Bob's got his show on Sunday afternoon, the oldies but goodies.
Yep.
So make sure you head on over to you get on the book facings, the Facebookins, and get to SKO Radio request page, and make sure you let Bob know what you want to hear.
what you want to hear.
Yeah. Like I like to say in the mornings when before he goes on, SKO Radio is about to be on the Fritz, or I should say Fritz is about to be on the SKO Radio Network.
There you go.
Ah,
putting on the Fritz.
Yep.
I should do an opening for him with that song.
You
behind it.
should.
That's a good one.
Putting on the Fritz. Then we got Monday with Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The world's longest Carolina Beach infomercial.
Right.
Yeah. I still need to call him. There's a few things I wanted to ask him.
And
not about Carolina Beach either.
Now I know that we've got plans for Tuesday night. Right now Tuesdays opens, but we got plans coming up for Tuesday night, and we're still
in the works.
It's still in the works, but something coming up here in the next few weeks. Tony, you're doing your.
I got a couple weeks left on Wednesday for right now.
Wednesday for a
couple weeks.
Sports Trek.
Mm-hmm. Steph and Chris on Thursday.
Thursday is Throwback Thursday, and
Right.
then Earl will
Another
be back.
great show.
Earl will be back in the hot seat here next Friday. I will be joining him as your replacement, Tony. You will be out.
Yeah, I will be out next Friday.
And I believe
then I'll be back. I
do not know
after that.
I don't know if Dylan will be here. I think he will still be gone. I think he's still in Michigan. So it might
He
be.
will still be gone. I only know that because my nephew is in the same unit.
Oh, there you go.
So
that helps.
There's your calendar there.
Right. So
it will most likely, unless anybody else decides to drop in, it's going to be myself, Earl, and Lori. So that was I got to tell you, and when they have their dynamic together and they have fun, but when they start doing the couple stuff, I sit here and grab my phone. And I'm like, I got nothing to add.
Right.
You guys just have either whether
They're
it's
still in the honeymoon phase.
whether it's the kissy face stuff, or
Yep.
I made the observation, and back me up on this, guys. They are both ridiculously self-deprecating. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Or especially when it comes to their personal private parts.
Yep.
Earl will tell you that he's built like a Jew.
Right.
And Lori will tell you that she's built like a Barbie doll. Just nothing. But they will overcompensate by complimenting each other and telling each other how wrong they are.
Right.
Because if you ask Lori, Earl is like John Holmes. Okay. he has a third leg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kickstand.
Tripod.
And if you ask Earl, he can't understand why he can't understand if Lori will ever be able to see her shoes again.
Right.
And I'm like, I can see how you mesh together. I hate my body. I love your body. I hate my body. I love your body.
Well, and see,
Let's kiss.
And see, a few weeks ago, the night before I bought my Jeep, I brought my ex-fiance sat on the show with us.
Okay.
Right.
And I told Earl and them, I was like, if there's anything you ever want to ask, Kelly's known me since I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
She'll tell you anything you ever want to know about me. You've never asked me, or I'm like, she's known me since I was 16 years old. And, she participated in the show and everything.
Right.
We had a good time with it.
We had a good time.
And it was just like, but he didn't ask. Nobody. I'm like, you got pretty much an encyclopedia of me sitting right next to me. And you don't want to ask away.
I've known you for about a year.
Uh-huh.
There are parts of your past I don't think I want to know.
We don't want to know.
It's just
The world is not ready.
that was my foot. He's kicking.
I know.
My biography would be about the same length as How to Understand Women.
Yeah, I've heard the stories you've told, and we've sat in on shows together. If I knew anything about your past, I probably wouldn't sleep anymore. I would probably be looking for the Tonys under my bed at that point.
I always tell
Why is
people
Aaron twitching?
I've lived a very full
PTSD.
I've lived a very full life.
I go to my therapist.
Post
like,
Tony.
This is like
Disorder.
Post Tony stress disorder.
A new PTSD. PCKSD. Post comedy killer stress disorder.
You know what? That should be another one for the medicinal marijuana list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Post-traumatic.
Why do you need medical marijuana?
I know Tony.
I know Tony,
I
the
know
comedy
Tony, the comedy killer. Oh, here's the time.
Oh, shit. You need something stronger. We're trying to legalize meth.
They've been legalizing magic mushrooms out in like Colorado or California.
Right.
You know how we're not supposed to be pushing opioids anymore. Here's all the opioids we're not supposed to push. We're just going to give them to you now.
It'll
God be with you.
It'll get you by for a while.
And may God have mercy on your soul. Oh, but then again, I mean, don't we all have those pasts where it's like, oh my God, you did what to what?
Right.
The goat.
Oh yeah.
The goat. Anyway. Oh, John, you got a checkered past, don't you?
There's some things I've done that have been questionable, sure.
Some things.
Questionable.
Questionable.
Yeah. Some of them have happened in Akron too.
The FBI.
That's why he doesn't come here very often.
Actually, I think he's been barred from the state. That's why he has to call in from West Virginia. He's like, he cannot cross the river.
He sneaks up here in the dark of night.
Have you seen this man?
He'll be
You see this man, don't let him in.
You'll recognize him. He usually shits in the woods. But
no, that's only in urinals of restaurants.
I just got this fucked up picture of John in tidy whities and a t-shirt running through the woods like Sasquatch.
Trust me, it is a pretty picture.
He catches you catching a glimpse of him, and he looks over and he goes, "Snap into a Slim Jim."
Eat me.
I say that night was epic, boys. I tell you, it was epic.
That night?
That night, yeah. I will blame the bartender 110% for that one.
There you go. Boy, I'm sorry. I had something poignant to say, and fuck it, I lost it.
Things took a left turn.
Oh, okay. Crossing the river. I was futzing around on Facebook last night, and I came across a site for a cruise line that does paddle boat cruises up and down the various rivers in the Midwest and the Mississippi and through the Plain States. And I thought, what a noble idea for people that want to go on a cruise that A, may not want to shell out the multi-thousands of dollars, B, may have an aversion to the ocean and everything about it,
We're going to need a bigger
C,
boat.
don't want to leave the country. Then I looked at the prices. I was like, okay, well, there goes A.
Right.
Yes, still have B and C. And the only one that, the ones that go up the Ohio River are probably the ones that are the most interesting. They actually run from Pittsburgh to Louisville and back. Or, well, not round trip. It's either Pittsburgh to Louisville or Louisville to Pittsburgh, depending on which way you want to go. But it looks kind of interesting to just kind of take a cruise up the Ohio River. I mean,
cool.
they had some Mississippi ones too. But I tend not to travel too far down south. My Jewishness kind of
the tour part of it would not compete, in my opinion, with a true cruise. A true cruise, you're going to exotic places.
Right.
Going up and down the Ohio River, on your left is McDonald's.
Yeah.
On your right is Burger King, and up ahead around the bend, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not the same.
Let me tell you a story about Ray's Tires up ahead. But
Mama's drive-through,
and the chemical plant that closed.
Now don't go swimming.
The only thing I would say about the actual cruises though is the only one that it really kind of appeals to me as a parent is the Disney cruise.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, well, at least while we're stuck on the boat, the kids will have something to enjoy. Because I'm at a point in my life where I want to find somewhere where I can take a nap.
Right. I mean, the only bad thing about the Disney cruise, though, is, at 2 a.m, when you're trying to, get lucky with your wife, and out of nowhere in the pitch black, you hear, "Oh, boy!" No.
Go away.
Give it to her. No.
Yeah.
Go away, Mickey. No.
I'd rather have Minnie. Go away, Mickey.
It just doesn't work for the moment, you know? And then your kid especially for days on end. Oh boy! And you're like, no, God, no.
Take her to the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's a small world. No.
It's a small world after all.
Come on, Goofy. How do you know she called me Goofy? Lucky guess. Oh my God. You know, unfortunately, I can pretty much guarantee you that the next time I'm in the throes of passion, I'm going to be thinking about Mickey Mouse interrupting coitus.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to start laughing. She's like, what the hell are you laughing at? I'm like, I cannot tell you.
I will pay for your cheat day if mid-coitus you go, oh boy!
That's going to be my new orgasm.
Oh boy!
It's like, all right, wait. Oh boy! I can guarantee you, the next thing she says to me will be, "Get off of me! Get off of me now!" And then I probably won't get spoken to for like the next few days.
A few days.
When you do get off of her, though, you got to do that goofy falling through the air. Oh,
We've got ears. Say cheers. Miska, Mooska, Mickey Mouse.
You can tell we have kids.
Yeah. I am never going to be able to watch that show anymore. It's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Come inside. Oh, wait, I think I did.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Come inside. It's fun inside.
I'm thinking you doggy thing out all the time.
Oh, boy. I'm putting that on the cart wall.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm definitely... That one has got to go on the cart wall.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna
People on Facebook are like, why is he headbanging?
up in here.
There you go. I must have got bored and just started sticking shit on the cart wall. I have the theme, the 30-second and 90-second theme here that I don't need. Oh, clear. Thank God.
Where's Baby Shark? They're making
God.
a whole entire show out of that.
But you know what? I did put something on here just for Dylan. I know he's probably not listening.
Uh-huh.
So when he does come back,
Yeah, I'm gonna take my
I love this song.
Old Town Road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
he hates this song. I mean, with a passion. More than he hates Rocket Man.
More than he hates Phil Collins.
He hates.
You need to
this
put
song.
Phil Collins on there and just call it Dylan.
Click it on there, and he can listen to like In the Air Tonight, starting at the drum solo.
Studio.
Well, actually, I think Dylan did call and leave a message from Michigan because I have a voicemail here. Let's listen to it.
Me so horny.
Yeah.
Me so horny. You keep
We love you long time.
Long time.
That's a movie I've seen way too many times.
Oh, you know what?
How can you not like that Billy Ray Cyrus and Little Nas song, that Old Town Road?
He doesn't.
He hates it.
What's funny, I saw a meme that said, it's funny because it's like, it's so sad that today's generation's only going to know Billy Ray Cyrus for Old Town Road. That just breaks my achy, breaky heart.
Oh, wow. We went in there. Where did I put it? I had another one here. I think.
Questions not to ask your wife. Where did I put it?
Where did I put it? I had it in here somewhere. There we go.
See,
I have to put this here.
I've got a friend of mine. She works in the Canton Market on terrestrial radio.
Mm-hmm.
She is hosting like a rooftop type of party. It's going to be like a midnight to 6 a.m. thing. And obviously trying to be a little hip, she went to the store and got a pair of Wranglers and said, because part of the song for Old Town Road is Wrangler on my booty.
Right.
And I was like, honey, I was like, of course, them Wranglers look good on your booty. I think that. And I was like, when you DJ that rooftop party, you need to get yourself in a pair of Wranglers because you're going to play Old Town Road. She's like, that's a good idea. And I was like, here's what I could do. I was like, I'd even be willing to come out there. I'll wear my cowboy boots. I'll wear a pair of jeans. That's probably be a little bit warm. Now, the one thing I can see if I can do, I got an 810 credit score. I would wonder if I could go to the Maserati dealership and see if they would let me test drive a Maserati for the weekend. Because if you go to the dealership and they run your credit.
He's got an 810 credit score, but he's wrapped his car around a tree.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I was out a little late. But a lot of these dealerships, if you go there and you're serious enough and they run your credit and see how good of a score you have, dude, let us make a photocopy of your ID. You can have this car for the weekend. Tell us how you like it.
Yep.
Because there's a line in the song, in my Maserati sports car.
Right.
I'd love to drive this thing down there, get it valeted and let them park it in the garage or whatever. They take good care of it and show up. And I told her, I'm like, and I'd even come get you an Alliance from the station and drive you down there. You show up in a Maserati.
Right.
And I was just like, let's just blow this thing up. And she was just like, that's a really good idea. I'm like, I don't see any reason why I couldn't go down to the dealership
and yet Tony's still single. I got to play this for you here. I put together an intro. You got a couple minutes left. I put together an intro for myself.
Oh God.
So to say to introduce me.
Right.
Because I was messing around with the editing software and I thought for some reason my ego is really big.
The one, the only, the man, the legend! A knight, sired by knights, a goddamn American icon. The voice of the voiceless.
And the new world heavyweight champion.
And he's wonderful.
And so, without further gilding the lily, and with no more ado, I give to you
the voice inside your head.
Aaron, the voice. Kaback. There you go. That's my intro. That's when I want to tell people that I'm here.
Egotistical?
A little bit. Am I full of myself? Just a touch.
No.
Actually, you know what? I did need that there. I actually have to put something back. Silly me. I'm just messing with buttons today. We're messing with this with the cart because we can.
Best self-portraits ever.
Oh my good Lord. That is I'm a little bit afraid right now.
You know what? I'm gonna have to describe this. I follow these two girls, twins,
Okay.
on Instagram. They do fine art, art, paint, canvas, everything. They are known for doing, pictures of themselves. I mean, yes, it's nudes, but it's paint. Okay. So, it's a self-portrait, paint, canvas, but they always do something just a little bit different about it. So it's not purely sexual. Their most recent, they painted pictures. It's them topless, but instead of their heads, it's Thing 1 and Thing 2 from Dr. Seuss. It's the most amazing piece of art I've ever seen in my life. And that tells you how twisted I am.
Just a little.
Oh, good.
I would seriously.
We're all going to get twisted in about 2 minutes.
I would hang that on my wall just to make people walk in my house and go, "What the fuck?
The hell, dude?"
And then I'd be like, "It's a Rembrandt."
Yeah. It's a Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Van Gogh mixed in with a little Warhol. They got together one night. You didn't know that?
And Thomas Kincaid.
Yeah.
Don't you see the little church in the background?
Be careful, though. I think Jackson Pollock showed up.
Possibly.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Hey, we have dead comedians for our world premiere. So
right.
Why not? It'll be
scores. We do what we want.
We do what we want, and we do it with panache. Ladies and gentlemen, it is officially 12 o'clock midnight, a dawning of a new day. Thank you so much for listening to the SKO Radio Network and Some Kind of Radio Show. Back again next Friday. Tune in, tune out, tune up. Good night. God bless. Have a good evening. See you. We're out.
Incredible connection, undeniable. I swear I thought you were the one forever. But your love was like a loaded gun. You shot me down like everyone. 'Cause everyone's replaceable when you're just so incapable.